What's going on, folks? Welcome to TLP Live. I am your host, Harry Billion. All right, Harry B. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have a nice show for you today. All right, guys, we have a MLC sighting, Montana Lemonious-Craig sighting. We're going to talk about that as well. The Cleveland Browns OTA starts today. Got a few things to talk about on that. Obviously, another Shedeur rumor, another day, another rumor. That I'm going to break that down as well. Okay. So if you're out there and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this said X, Y, and Z, trust me, you want to stay tuned for that. Okay. So listen, this is how it works. This is live. So if you are joining us live and you are in the chat, comments, you can enjoy the show. But if you're watching post live, you might want to fast forward just a little bit when the conversation gets going. You feel me? So you can get the full show when activity is going. These are just intros to get people to come onto the show. So scroll just a little bit and you might get the full experience. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, we get to talk some football now. Okay? People going crazy about Travis Hunter's route running. What's that about? I don't know. I was a little confused. I was like, wait a minute. Travis Hunter, route running issues? And why is it's like people are trying to sabotage the Louis boys, and I don't get it. I don't understand it. But I feel like, it is what it is. You feel me? Like, you'd rather them talk about you than not, right? Let's talk about that a little bit. Anyways, join tlplive@gmail.com is the email where you want to come on here. Let's talk football, guys. Let's talk some football. What's going on in the Big 12? BYU may not have their starting quarterback, and you know why. Okay? We got to talk about that. All right? I got a Big 12 video coming, not a BYU video. I got a Big 12 video coming, guys. I want you to stay tuned for that. The Louis boys are in the NFL now, but there is still college football to be talked about, okay? We talk about college football here. It's been a long time, okay? We've been focused on the Louis boys, Carolina, Jacksonville, Cleveland Browns. They're everywhere. Tampa Bay Bucks with Shiloh. Whew. There's a lot to talk about, but we got to first take the first things first, okay? Cleveland Browns OTA. But join me on the show, guys. Join tlplive@gmail.com. Join tlplive@gmail.com. And if you're feeling generous, if God touches your heart, you're like, man, Harry B, I see you putting out videos. You're doing the shorts. I'm on your communities page, and I see you're working hard. I want to bless you, man. How can I bless you? Right there on your screen, at the bottom of your screen, is my Cash App. Okay. $ TLP Sports Club. All right. Here, my y'all who have not subscribed to the channel, hey man, if you can please do the kid a favor. You feel me? Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, especially if you enjoy the content, whether it's me posting the shorts, controversial shorts where we're duking it out in the comment section. You see my face every single morning at 6 a.m. You see my face on a short because my shorts are scheduled for 6 a.m. every morning to hit you with something that you're going to be either mad about, happy about. At least you're going to be seeing my face. So come on, man. Hit that subscribe button. Let's split our differences. You feel what I'm saying? But thank you for being a part of this show. Thank you for being a part of the community. I really appreciate everyone for your patriotism, your patronage. I thank you for your support and everything. So far in the chat, we got New Harper just posted a Shedeur's perfect pass. Okay, that's what's up. After the game, what up with you? For Dama, what up with you? Shedeur is dominating the day one of OTA. Okay, I see that. Y'all want to handle the rumors first? What y'all want to handle first? Y'all want to handle the rumors first, or we just talk general OTAs? Let's talk general OTAs, and then we'll get into the rumors and all of that. Well, you know what? Let's start with the rumors, and then it'll just go into the OTAs. Okay, organized team activities, and then right after the organized team activities, we got to go into minicamp, guys. So let's handle the rumors first, and then, hey Panda, people try to pin you and me against each other, man. There was no disrespect. Let me just handle Panda real quick. There was no disrespect with the interview we had with my guy Eric. Okay, the $100 million lawsuit guy. All right. I was trying to conduct an interview. What I should have the right way to have done that would have been like to say, "Hey, my guy Panda, let me go ahead and handle this interview real quick. I'll invite you back. You can come on the panel. We can talk." Instead of me like having him there and then telling him, "Nah, hold on, Panda. Let me get this quiet." It came off a little abrasive and a little rude, and that's my guy. Panda's my guy. So Panda, I just want to publicly say I apologize the way that came off. You know what I'm saying? You have some good things to say, and I try to, I try to conduct an interview. I was a little excited, and Panda, I'm sorry, my guy. Okay, I just wanted to let you know that there's no hard feelings, Panda. You're my guy, and for all of that, you deserve this one that's coming. I just wanted to give this one goes out to Panda. Panda, this is for you, my guy. Okay. Yes, sir. All right, Panda. Oh man. Oh my gosh. I had to do it, Panda. I had to do it. I'm sorry, brother. Oh my goodness. I had to get you one good time, Panda. I had to get you one good time. Oh man. Ooh, that was funny. So let's go. So I get the rumors. Okay. Rumors. I watched this video. And then like the rumors that they're Shedeur and the Browns, or the Browns are trying to get rid of Shedeur. And there's different sources talking about they want to part ways or whatever. And I was like, huh? How come I didn't hear none of this? All right. Like, let me tell you one thing about how I get my news. I lean on the writers. I lean on the inside folks. I lean on the beat writer. I try to get connected and subscribe to specific articles that are specifically Browns. Okay, now Browns. Okay, the same thing I did with Colorado to get the information that I bring to you guys. I try to make sure that my information is legit. All right, I am not a registered journalist. All right, I'm a filmmaker, but I did study journalism and I understand how journalism works. So my channel is somewhat of a legit. I try to run my channel legitimately. All right. So the information, even though it's YouTube and I'm not an official journalist, I try to make sure that information that you get from TRP Sports Club, it has some type of integrity and some type of authenticity. You feel me? So that when you come here, you're not just getting like YouTube rumors and YouTube, just frivolous stuff. So if you notice, if you go on my channel, you'll see I reference a lot of articles, and I try to get the official articles and stuff like that. All right. Not just people writing in the dusty corners of the world. Not that stuff. So I haven't heard from anyone official saying that there were rumors that the Cleveland Browns are trying to get rid of Shedeur, or trying to trade him, or they're trying to part ways, and because of they don't have enough snaps, right, for him. So there's some kind of riff or something going on. I don't know. I haven't heard that. But when I heard it, I was like, wait, where is this coming from? I'm checking my sources, and I'm like, no, this person ain't saying that. Like how people would talk, your inside guys that would drop certain gems. And if you know how to listen and how to interpret that information, then you will know how to extrapolate that and make sense out of it. They're not going to give you straight talk like that. They're not going to say, Shedeur's your starter. This person is not, until stuff comes out. But the inside guys are going to be dropping stuff here and there. And if you understand how journalism works and the integrity of journalism, you would know how to use that information to, write your papers, do your videos and stuff like that. So that's how the media stuff works for everybody. Nobody has come out. There's no articles. There's nothing that suggests anything. Even the Browns YouTubers that I listen to now, I haven't heard anything. So when I saw that video, I was like, what you talking about, Willis? I said, hold up. What you talking about, Willis? Like I have a source that I use for everything now, Browns, everything Shedeur, everything Colorado. So, the first thing I did was just put I went to my source and I looked on everything, every article, my Reddit information, everything. I'm searching. I'm like, I can't go to my folks and I can't jump on my computer. I can't jump in the studio to go make a video about Shedeur rumors. Even I can't go do that. Like, I can't do that. I have to check my sources and nothing. I got nothing. Okay. As soon as I put my YouTube app on my phone, I see Shedeur just playfully talking with the OC, and the OC's telling him, certain things about the OC. Him and the OC are just talking like this is how they're gonna tackle you. It's a whole new ball game, and Shedeur's playfully hitting him like this and stuff. I was like, okay, so that's going on. What's happening? I'm like, don't do that, okay? Can y'all be responsible with your YouTube channels? I know that we all trying to get monetized and trying to get that check from Gmail and whatnot, but can y'all please do me a favor? Okay? I have a heart here, okay? I don't want to catch a heart attack by seeing a video and say Shedeur and the Cleveland Browns are trying to part ways. Like, don't do that, bro. Please don't do Please stop doing that, okay? You're gonna give me a heart attack here. Okay, I'm straight, like I'm dropping everything and I'm running straight to my sources, and I'm like, no way, they're not trying to do that, right? So I think this is I think this is what is happening. Remember, in the beginning, I tried to explain to y'all that when you are drafted, there's a pecking order when you're drafted. So there is going to be some type of snap order. All right. The team has to start preparing in OTAs and then mini camp. They have to start preparing the first team to start playing the season, right? So the pecking order is Shedeur is not going to get your first team reps. Like, I just want the fan base, the ones that, the machete, Bible and machete toting, praying aunties and uncles. I just want you to understand that there is a pecking order. So Shedeur's not going to get your first team or second team reps. He's going to get at maybe third. He's going to split third and fourth. That's what he's going to do. That's what it's going to be. All right. And there's not a whole lot of those reps to go around. You got to count the reps. Like, you literally have to count the reps now. So, and you have to start preparing who you think is going to be your first guy. Right. So the way that they're going to do it is Dillon Gabriel is going to be your first guy. All right. If you're talking about the two guys, Dillon Gabriel is going to be the two rookies. Dillon Gabriel is going to be number one. And you want to start preparing Dillon Gabriel over everyone else, because that's the guy that you drafted high, number 3. All right. So I think either someone who's either thirsty for views or trying to get a lot of clicks. All right. I ain't saying you who created the video. I'm just saying, like, somebody is putting out, they're trying to get people to either read their papers or read their articles. So they're using that information where Shedeur's not going to get that many clicks, many snaps. And they're interpreting that information as, oh, this is bad for Shedeur. No, it's just what it is. All right. I just wanted to just start with that just so you can understand, like, stop with the crazy rumors. I know anything that says Shedeur is going to get views, but at least be responsible with your pen and be responsible with your YouTube channel. All right. I'm not the biggest YouTube channel. Like, there's people that got much more subscribers than me. So, but I feel like I'm working just as hard as the guys that are at the top. For them, they can just turn their channels on or go into their studios, start talking, and that's it. And they can walk away. For me, like, I'm doing everything. Like, I'm working hard. So, again, I'm probing for your likes and your support and your subscribe, okay? Please hit the subscribe button to help my brother out. But anyways, yeah, so no panic. Do not panic. And make sure, like, yeah, don't panic out there. The machete, Bible-toting aunties and uncles, there is no parting ways. Shedeur's fine. I mean, there was a thing that came out where I think Bucky sent out Bucky put out a short, and he was like, there was a Rolls Royce that was being delivered. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, in that video I heard Shedeur's voice or something like that. So I think Dove Kleiman must have thought that Shedeur's voice being on the video, or wherever Shedeur was, he's not even in the same state as them, right? He wrote a whole tweet and said that Shedeur just got a Rolls Royce, and Shedeur, somebody let Shedeur know that, you know, Dove Kleiman had this out there, and immediately his handlers, whoever controls his social media, it's not Shedeur, by the way, just in case for y'all creators that don't understand. Shedeur is not on social media. He's focused on sports. All right. So, you know, his people will say, hey, man, they got this out there. And then he will instruct them to put out a message. Okay. So if you see Shedeur tweeting and stuff like that, I know you can read it in another way, thinking, oh, Shedeur, why is he not practicing and stuff like that? Why is he on social media? When you're rich, in case for those of y'all who don't know, when you have money and you're rich, you can afford to pay a team of people to do the work. There's social media handlers, okay? So rest assured, I know y'all, there's a small group of people out there that would like to just nitpick everything that's going on. All right, so that car, Shedeur did not buy. He put it out right away, all right? And there is no rift with Shedeur and the Cleveland Browns. Just understand that there is a pecking order. The first team reps it should be Dylan Gabriel, because he was drafted 3rd round. Joe Flacco should not be the priority with the Cleveland Browns when it comes to like the little mini camps and OTAs and things that you can decide, look, I ain't coming to work, bro. I know the playbook. So it should not be Joe Flacco, then Pickett, and then Gabriel. It should be Gabriel, Pickett, Joe. Joe knows the playbook already, so we're going to leave Joe out of this. Joe, go sit down somewhere. Your 40-year-old bones, I know they're aching. Go take some Bengay and rub it. Do whatever you got to do that us old folks got to do. All right? Go sit down and chill. We got this, okay? So it's going to be Gabriel, Pickett, and then Shedeur. And let me put this out there, something that I heard that I felt like it was poignant that I may share with you. I thought it was genius, or I thought it was smart. I believe the organization, Cleveland Browns, if you've heard any rumors that Pickett is going to get the first team reps, I think this is a move. It's a strategic move that the organization is doing, because they know that they have a crazy mess of a situation on their hands. They literally have 5 quarterbacks in their room. The reason why now 5 is like the new number, as opposed to all the time we kept saying 4, is because of this one thing here. Watson is getting better, and he's starting to publicly campaign on social, and he's sending the organization messages that he's okay to play. So if he comes back in the picture and he's okay to play, there's going to be a lawsuit. There's going to be something that goes on. You're going to have to give him an opportunity to play. So that's 5 quarterbacks. Let's just say 4.5, just for argument's sakes. But there's a possibility that they're going, Watson is going to be in the picture too. This gets messy. Just talking about it, like with my guys all day behind the scenes, I'm like, I wish we weren't here. But anyways, so here's the genius thing that I think they're doing. They're playing chess, not checkers. When they say Pickett is going to get first team reps, they're actually using that to give Pickett a leg up to their marketing Pickett. All right, I almost got lost in words here. They're marketing Pickett. I thought it was nice. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. That makes sense. So you start to increase his value, right? Or you start to create value or increase his value, so that a team may say, if he's going to get first team's reps, then yada, 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 let's get him. Let's trade for him. Keep in mind that there are teams that still need quarterbacks. The Saints need a quarterback, okay? They need a veteran quarterback. So Pickett could be, if they put Pickett in a position for somebody to snatch him up, they can start like dwindling this thing down, because you only got a few weeks, man. Like you gotta they need to choose fast. So put Pickett in a position where his value goes up, and then you can say, okay, Pickett, somebody just called for you, and go ahead, man. We give you our blessings. That's how they're trying to set it up. Somebody suggested that on a clip. All right, one of the bigger media guys suggested that, and I thought that was something that was poignant, and I wanted to share that with you. All right, so that is all the rumors. Let's just set aside all those rumors. That's done. None of this is crazy, okay? Like Shedeur did not get the car. That's not his car. It's family car. Somebody owns it, right? It was not his. So stop the crazy rumors. Now, Duff Kleiman is a guy that's an insider, okay? So if I see something about him, I will post it. All right, so that is the rumor. Let's just pivot a little bit to talk about Lemonious-Craig. Remember I asked y'all the question? I was like, where is Lemonious-Craig? Oh, let me check my email. I'm sure my guys want to come over here and talk. Maybe not. I don't know if they do. Ooh-wee. Let's turn our attentions to Lemonious-Craig. Also, let me just give you a slight update from my guy Eric, who's the 100. I'm just gonna call him Eric, the 100 NFL $100 million lawsuit guy. So, I'm gonna if there's any type of update with that case, you can keep it locked here at TLP Sports Club. I will be giving you guys the skinny. All right, he's giving me, he's going to be trying to give me some information whenever there's something new with the case. I will be giving you guys the skinny on that. All right, so any channels or any media people y'all want to reach out to your guy, like, hey, what's going on? Y'all want to know what's going on? Keep it locked here on TLP Sports Club. I will be giving you any update, anything new with the case. All right, so he's blessing me with the information, and anytime he gets something new, he's like, yo, Harry B, I'll share it with you. You be the media point person, and then I'll give you information that you can send out there to the public. So anytime something new comes up, I will be updating you guys. All right, so salute to that. So I appreciate you, Eric, for that. All right, so we got Lemonious-Craig sighting. All right, look at Jaden Daniels. He didn't have any experience, and look where he's. Oh, y'all having like side conversation? Okay. Evelyn Underwood, greetings, Harry. Is Bola another nickname, sir? Bola? What is Bola? Billion? Harry B? Harry Billion? Not Bola like Ebola. Y'all crazy. Y'all know, Ebola does not start in Liberia. Y'all better stop playing with me. Anyways, we got Lemonious-Craig sighting. For those of y'all who are Cleveland fans, did not follow the whole Colorado experience, and you're here and you like, who is Lemonious-Craig? Lemonious-Craig was on the Lemonious-Craig was a buff who got traded. I mean, who's jumped into that transfer portal right after the spring game. I believe that was in 2023. So this is the information I asked last time. I was like, hey man, what happened to Lemonious-Craig? Because he was supposed to be Colorado's put like 4 wide receivers in the NFL, and I'm like, yo, Lemonious-Craig, if he stuck around, he would have been one of those guys. Because we got Jimmy Wester, you know what I'm saying? We got Travis. So I mean, that's come on. If he stuck around, he would have been one of those guys. So this is the information we got on Twitter. On Twitter 2 hours ago, Yahoo Sports tweeted the Steelers have signed UDFA wide receiver, undrafted first. He was undrafted. He went undrafted. Undrafted free agent wide receiver Montana Lemonious-Craig to the 90-man roster the team announced. You feel me? So salute to Lemonious-Craig. So his NFL journey is starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay? That's what's up. I know there was a little bit of, people like, hey man, why the coach do my guy like that? You feel me? Like they didn't really, they weren't gonna sign him and whatnot. So why they do him like that? Well, now he got a buff. All right. So Lemonious-Craig is going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he goes, he's an undrafted free agent. Now they're going to go into mini camp and they got to fight it out. This guy can ball. Okay, he can catch the ball. All right. So, and I'm sure he'll probably make that team. If he doesn't make that team, he'll probably like do something in the preseason on TV, and somebody gonna be like, "Yo, bring him over here." All right. So that's what's up with that. So, what's going on with OTAs? So the OTAs have started. All right. Shedeur is, he's going to be getting limited reps, but I believe in the opening part or in the first part of OTAs, the coach is going to split reps and try to see who he has because he has a short window to choose his QB1. QB1 needs to be in the building right now, just mingling with whoever needs, what I'm saying? Because there are certain things, every quarterback has their ways. The way Shedeur hands the ball off, I'm very critical on how Shedeur hands the ball off. All right? If you know me, you know me about Shedeur. I feel like that is one thing that never worked on at Colorado, handing the ball off. So, anyways, what I was trying to tell you is that every quarterback has nuances. They have their flair. They have their swagger. The way that the quarterback and the offensive line, the way that they gel, the way that they get to know each other, it takes time to build that. So this is no time for us to have 5 quarterbacks, and every now and then, every other snap, you want to be having a different guy go under center and calling. You want to start like the offensive line, the center, the right guard, the left guard. They need to start hearing one person's voice. Blue 22. Omaha, whatever they do. You want to have that one guy to start building that relationship, that camaraderie, that thing that you create. You want to do that. So you don't have a lot of time. You got Watson, who is like, he's warming up. He's out of those boots. And he's like, look, I may be ready to go. God forbid. 5 quarterbacks. Help me. God, help me, please. This is the messiest. Okay? Anyway, there's a lot of quarterbacks, okay? I know we're going to keep saying this, just like remember when we wore out 1-11? It got on my nerves. But we got 5 it looks like it's going to be 5 quarterbacks. But it's time for them to choose. So in the beginning of OTAs, organized team activities, they're going to be probably using that time because they don't necessarily need the 2 veterans, okay? In OTAs, you don't necessarily need to have, like, if I know the draft they traded for they didn't trade, but they went and they got Pickett, right? So Pickett was not on the team. It was Flacco that was on the team, and then it went out and acquired Pickett, right? So it's Flacco that actually knows the playbook. Pickett needs some reps to understand, to start working his way in. So I would understand if Joe Flacco did not take any reps in OTAs, like, you ain't got to worry about it. You know the playbook. You already have camaraderie with the offensive line. So why don't you just sit down a little bit? Let us see what we got in Pickett and then the 2 rookies. So this is how I think they're going to do it, because in the first day of the OTAs, they did not have no media there. So there's nothing that's going to come out because the media is going to be like nitpicking, right? The first person that gets those reps, we're going to get information. Will start flying right away. So I'm glad that they didn't have no media there, because the media can be biased. Obviously, the media, everybody has their person. All right. When we got the little what's the name that they had, right? The rookie mini camp or whatnot. Different media personalities were pretty much giving us information about who they thought the guy was. It was, if you were on the Dylan side, you heard a lot of good things about Dylan, his or how accurate he was, the play calling and stuff like that. If you were on the Shedeur side, Some people were saying it's not even close. Shedeur's the guy. He's going to win that job no matter what. So we get a lot of that going. So if you put the media in there, they will start, creating narratives, right? So the day number one, no media. They need I think y'all go ahead, y'all do that football thing. We need information as fast as possible because obviously everybody is paying attention to the Browns. All right. Everybody's paying attention to the Browns. So we need information as fast as possible. Let me make sure I'm not leaving anybody, in the chat here or in the what's the name here. If you want to join the show, guys, let me just put this back up there again. All right, so join TLPlive@gmail.com. Join TLPlive@gmail.com is the email if you want to call into the show, guys. My Cash App is $ TLP Sports Club. And if you don't have the cash, I got something free for you. The subscribe button, the like button is free. You don't have to pay anything for the like button. You don't have to pay anything to comment. You can just comment in there. And subscribing is free. So all right. I do videos. I upload the videos. I do a lot of shorts, and my community page is popping. I got different sports on there, like my New York Knicks. They actually won a game. Okay. Whew. Lord have mercy. First game, they were looking like they were going to beat this team in 4. Second game, they look like, oh my God, they don't even belong in the same court. Third game is like, oh, okay, we came back again, Lord. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We got emotions up and down. But hit that subscribe button. Help a brother out if you like the content. All right, so Newer Harper says, just showing Shedeur Sanders dominating today. So, yeah, so if y'all know my position here at TLP Sports Club, right? If you give Shedeur reps, because I know what it's like, you're not going to have that many days of OTAs. All right, let's go ahead and share the OTA schedule right here so you can see. You don't have that many days for OTAs, so it's very limited. They got to put the commercial up as soon as I want to share this thing. Come on. All right, so here it goes. So May 27th to the 28th. May 27th is obviously today. June 3rd to the 4th, and then June the 6th. This is the schedule for the OTAs, okay? Minicamp runs from June 10th through the 12th, with one last set of OTA practices running June 16th, through the 19th. All right? It's that often guaranteed starters will show up to OTAs closer to minicamp, while giving coaches a chance to spend more time with younger or newer players in attendance at the earlier practices. While questions might come up about attendance, coaches will always note the voluntary nature of OTAs, with the Browns' participation similar to what we see league-wise. Okay, league-wide, not league-wise. Okay, if league-wise, if you're Liberian, your Liberian ears is Harry is Henry. So if you ever hear a Liberian person just fumbling on words or changing words, it's natural. It's natural for our culture. I'm doing this for the culture. Both cultures. I got too many cultures in my head. Southern, New York, African. Lord, I'm a gumbo of cultures. My Liberian people, how y'all doing? Oh, my people there, my beginning. Y'all good? Oh, my chico there. No, I ain't got no chicos. Stop playing with me. Anyways, so yeah, so Shedeur's going to get limited reps, but in these OTAs, because the presumptive starters are not necessarily like, these are voluntary, okay? So I would say the coaches need time to see the rookies. You already know how Pickett plays. You already know, I mean, they have NFL experience. So in OTAs, you should see a lot of Shedeur, a lot of Dylan Gabriel. So I want to see those two guys go at it, because there has to be a time where we got to choose fast. We don't have a lot of time. Choose fast and let's get this thing moving, because we need to start building camaraderie on that line. We got to, this is one thing that a lot of people are not thinking about. The Cleveland Browns are historically terrible, but here are some highlights for the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns running back room is pretty nice. The Cleveland Browns wide receivers room is also pretty nice. Their O-line just I believe it's 2 or 3 years removed, was the best O-line in the NFL per NFL speaking heads or per the NFL data. So we're not too far removed from having a really good O-line for these quarterbacks. So whoever becomes the first team rep, Cleveland should have a decent team. No, I know that. I know I'm calming down. So 4.5 win projection. I know it's not that much, but it doesn't mean that Vegas has to get it right, depending on who they choose at quarterback. Now, here's the thing about these two rookies. We don't know what they're going to do in the NFL yet. Nobody knows how they're going to transpire in the NFL. So we're still waiting to see how that's going to work out. If you are around here, you know Shedeur already. If you are a Colorado Buffs fan, you know Shedeur. But if you're watching and you are a Dylan Gabriel's fan, you understand that he's a workhorse. He can work. He can play. Yeah, you want to make jokes that he's short and whatnot, but there have been short quarterbacks. What was his name? Doug Flutie? Was it Doug Flutie? If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Doug Flutie like short? Was he a Buffalo Bills or was it a Giants? Doug Flutie. If it's a Giants fan, if it's a Giants quarterback and I don't know that, then something's wrong with me. But yeah, I think Doug Flutie. There has been small quarterbacks. All right, so him being 5'11" or 5'10" on a good day, and 5'10" and like 5'11" on a good day, it doesn't matter. The boy can ball, all right? I know sometimes we get caught up in our Shedeur analysis and the fact that we like Shedeur around here when we're listening to our machete Bible toting. That's a new thing I got for you, by the way. The machete Bible toting aunties that will slice you if you mess with them, right? I know when we're talking about Shedeur, we tend to think like nobody else is good, only Shedeur. No, Dylan Gabriel is really good. Pickett is good. I think they're trying to ship Pickett out of here, though. But Pickett is good. The quarterbacks they got are decent quarterbacks. And if Watson is healthy, we can forget about this entire quarterbacks competition. If Watson is healthy, Watson is your day one starter. If you are a Browns fan, you want Watson to start. All right? There's no argument there. All right? It's like Cam Newton, like prime Cam Newton. All right. So if you are a Browns fan, you're like, okay, rookie or not, bro, we want Watson to start. So that's why when I talk about Watson, I'm like, oh, I don't want to wish ill will, like some people wishing on Travis and his marriage. I don't want to wish ill will on Watson. You know, like, please stay hurt. Please, I don't want to do that. But I'm like, dang, man, like, is he really healthy? So, I mean, if you are really a true Browns fan, you want the best quarterback. That's what it boils down to. There are some people who are level-headed and they're like, yo, man, Shedeur doesn't have to start this year. We don't need Shedeur to start this year. Let him sit. Let him take the game in. Let him take the playbook in. Don't put that pressure on Shedeur yet. You feel me? Because it's a lot of pressure. First of all, it's not just like if he's not ready, right? Like, and when I say if he's not ready, I know these are sinful words, blasphemous words to say on a YouTube video when you got the machete Bible toting aunties and uncles out there. Shedeur, you know, I ain't saying if he's not ready. I'm just saying you want him to be able to know the playbook backwards and forward, doing leap flips and still knowing it. Being comfortable with the playbook, not thinking about the playbook, because the playbook is a big playbook. It's a very thick binder for the plays. So the more time he has to go over those plays, remember now he doesn't have the QB1 reps. The QB1 reps are you get the most reps. So you get to go over those plays a lot. If you are QB3 or 4, you're not going to get those reps. So you don't have enough time to prepare. So that's what I'm saying. So some level-headed people are saying, well, it'll be a nice thing for Shedeur to just watch the game for at least, let's say, the first half of the season. Let him learn the playbook. Let him see those plays in action. Let him see the different variations of the play. Because it's not like it's a million plays, right? There's a handful of plays, but a million variations of those plays, if that makes sense to a lot of people out there, especially if you're not a football person. So let's just say, for instance, they have a play, and the play is, rotten potato, right? So within rotten potato, you're going to have the potato skin, the potato peel, the French fries. There's a lot of different variations of rotten potato, okay? And the only reason why you have those variations is so that you can trick the defense. You might line up this way. You might line on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. You might put your tight end in motion, different things to try to confuse the defense. But you're about to run pretty much the same type of play. And then within that play, you have chosen somebody that the ball is going to. Here's one thing that I've said before, but I want to highlight. I want to let somebody know out there. In college, I felt like, remember, guys, I've been saying this for a long time. The NFL game, if you take out how big the playbook is and everything, it's much simpler. Okay, it's much simpler. It's actually perfect for Shedeur. It's perfect for Shedeur's mind, the way he thinks, the way he processes. And the people that are on those teams are professionals. So he's not having to deal with what he dealt with at Colorado. Shedeur was dealing with a lot of miscommunication problems where he was ready to go. The wide receivers, the running backs, or somebody wasn't ready. So there was always, like, you can tell there was some miscommunication there. Now he wouldn't have to worry about that. And it's much simpler. Shedeur, we're not doing a bunch of RPOs. Here, we're going to tell you what you need to do. Do this, and that's it. And we're going to run that 1,000 times. I feel like that's perfect for Shedeur. I've been saying it for 2 years. I've been saying it at Colorado when we was covering Colorado games. I was saying, hey, just run a basic NFL offense for Shedeur and let the guys be on the same page with him. And he will thrive. So I'm confident that once Shedeur gets the playbook and he understands it, he will be teaching that playbook. And he will be calling plays. He will come up with different plays. He'll be like, nah, coach, I want this receiver to do this. Once he get it, right? Whatever rumors that are coming out, or he may not know how to figure this out. Some people have global learning. Some people learn at different pace, right? Doesn't mean that he's incapable of learning. It just means that he has a different style of learning. Maybe that's what it is, right? But I do know once he gets it, he understands what's going on. Then it's like, oh, okay, now he's gonna jump in there and start doing what Shedeur does, and his swagger will come out because he would now start saying, no. This is what I'm seeing. I see that. You see this guy right here? You see that linebacker? Every single time I do X, Y, and Z, he's pulling forward. Let's trick him. That's how smart Shedeur is, and that's why I have a lot of confidence. And sometimes when I'm talking to my football guys, and they'll be asking me why are you so confident? I'm like, because I know what you know, but you're not trying to lean into it and not accept it. I know that he's very smart. I would say he's smarter than the average quarterback. That's why I coined him, and a lot of other people coined him the best quarterback coming out of the draft, even though the pecking order didn't happen that way. So calm down, okay? Oh, he didn't get drafted 5th round, blah, 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 okay? I feel like he was the best quarterback because he's very smart and he understands the game at a high level. So that's going to transpire. Let me make sure nobody's trying to come on to the show here. Let me make sure I got my email checked and ready to go. Pat Shermer was head coach of Cleveland. What year? I know he was definitely a New York Giants head coach, but I don't know that he was. Did he start with Cleveland before he buff all football? Did he start with Cleveland before he actually went to the Giants? I know he was with the Giants. I don't remember him at Cleveland. So, yeah, I mean, y'all probably know more than I do. So, let's see. Greg says Flacco going to start, but if Shedeur just sticks close to Joe, he'll be the starter after the bye week in week 6. Okay, so Harper says yes. Pat Shermer was probably with the Cleveland Browns before before. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's why I said a lot of the stuff that comes out, like Shedeur doesn't understand. I think Pat Shermer gave Shedeur a vote of confidence when he was at Colorado. They got very close. He started to understand who Shedeur was, and that's how they were able to put together the season that they put together when Pat Shermer was actually the OC and he didn't have to share with Sean Lewis. So yeah. All right, what else you're saying? I'm gonna make sure I'm not ignoring y'all here. Judah said, "Why would you want Watson to start? Why would I want Watson to start? What Watson is like a Cam Newton, because first of all, who do I want to start? I want Shedeur to start, right? But the organization gave Watson like $200 million or something like that. They wrote him a blank check, right? Because Watson is actually like that. Watson is like a Cam Newton when he's healthy. The dude can ball. Like, he's like the Jalen Hurt. He's like the Jalen Daniel. Mobile quarterbacks is the direction that the NFL is actually going in mobile quarterbacks. And then here's a sin. Here's a blasphemous thing to say. The most athletic quarterback to come out of the 2025 NFL draft that Shedeur Sanders was in is Milroe from Alabama. I know that. I know I just messed up a lot of people. Don't unsubscribe, okay? I ain't saying he's the best quarterback. Just hear what I'm saying. The most athletic quarterback to come out of the 2025 draft is Jalen Milroe from Alabama. Because mobile quarterback is the direction that the NFL is going in. So just understand that. If you can run, you can throw. Milroe has a couple of things to work on, but I feel like Milroe, once he puts it all together, that boy gonna be bad. I'm surprised he went as late as he went, and he didn't have no chorus. He was like laying low. And now, if you're following what's going on, I'm following all of it. Okay, okay. So if you're following what's going on, Milroe is actually like, he might get some reps over Sam Daniel. Sam. I forget his last name already. But he was with the Jets. He didn't do that great. So I'm tell you, all right, just watch. So it's not like I'm saying start Watson over Shedeur. I'm not trying to choose Watson over Shedeur. I'm just saying Watson would be a better NFL quarterback than Shedeur. Hands down, like straight up. If he's healthy, oh yeah. Anybody you want to learn under? Oh yeah. Shedeur's not a mobile quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback. For those of y'all who didn't know, he's a pocket quarterback. He's not mobile. But also, so was Tom Brady. There's a lot of pocket quarterbacks. Okay? Your white most of your white quarterbacks are pocket quarterbacks. All right? They're just not runners. All right? If you notice in the NFL, most of your mobile quarterbacks are most of your mobile quarterbacks are black. It's not a racial thing. It's just what it is, right? But then when you think about King with Georgia Tech, that's Colorado's first game. Have y'all started? I'm not trying to make it. I didn't transition directly into the college football talk yet. All right, I'm just bringing that up because I just got a flashback. That's Colorado's first game. Lord, have y'all? King is a mobile quarterback. All right, that white boy can run. Okay, so, and I'm like, Lord, if you watch the Georgia versus Georgia Tech game, that should give you an indication of what Colorado is going to face come the season. So I'm not happy for that first game. Okay, I ain't happy for that first game because I'm like, I don't know. I always say my panel on the show, they're like, most people are giving that Colorado the L on that. I can't find a way, like whether it's the quarterback's room, their quarterback room is much better. Georgia Tech's quarterback room is much better than our quarterback's room. Their linebackers room is much better than a whole college football linebacker room. So I can't even compare with Colorado. Like, it's hard to compare Colorado with Georgia Tech. Like, what are what are the comparisons? I don't know. All right, and I'm sorry, I got off track. We're still talking NFL. I don't want to get into I don't want to get into college football just yet. Just give me a few minutes. We'll get into college football. All right, in a second, 10 more minutes, and we'll get into college football. And for those of y'all who are just listening on the podcast, on just audio, I just took a drink break. I had a drink. The lights are bright in New York. You feel me? And it's hot in my studio. And I'm wearing a hoodie. And it's almost summertime. But yeah, okay. So Deshaun Watson. Okay, what are y'all saying? Ty Smith is in the building. Dallas is in the building. What up, Dallas is in the building. What up, Ty? Okay. The Sanders family is feeding a lot of social media influencers, just like OJ's trial made media influencers rich. Obviously, absolutely incredible. But okay, so here's the thing. Wanda Reina. It's not just social media. That's the thing. It's not just social media. I'm not sure if you remember, if you noticed that Shedeur and the Cleveland Browns are dominating the headlines when it comes to the NFL, the off season. So it ain't social media. Look at all the podcasts. Just when you scroll, I don't know if you listen to the facility and all the different NFL shows, but I mean, people are still talking about the drive slide. People are still doing the drive slide dance. So it's not just YouTubers. People like to pick on us because we're like the bottom of the barrel when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? You got the CNNs. You got the ESPNs, the facilities, the Fox Sports, the FS1s, you know what I'm saying? Your Skip Baylesses, your Shannon Sharps and all those guys. And then you got your the podcast where a lot of your Cam Newtons, a lot of the former players that got podcasts now. So you kind of like, the pecking order, then you kind of get down to where we are, us YouTubers who don't have a lot of connections like those guys do. But I mean, you look to us to provide you the quick information. You look to us to get you the whatever's happening on the ground. Those guys are not gonna have it. Most of the time they're getting it from us. All right. Now I'm the connect man for Eric now. Okay, for the $100 million lawsuit, I'm the connect man. So don't look down on us too much, because us YouTubers, we're working hard too. We work hard and we bring good information, especially if you care about it. If you care about football and you like football information, TLP is a good channel. All right. Sometimes I talk about, stuff I may be praying, or I may be on here getting emotional about Travis Hunter's marriage and stuff like that, or I may say stuff about God, and then I may throw in there, some yoga pants stuff. Like I told y'all, if I ever became a politician, I'm going to ban yoga pants. I don't want to go. I'm not going back to that. Okay, I'm just saying, we give you stuff. It's entertainment, man. So hit the subscribe button and help a brother out. Oh man. So Shedeur, don't be running. You sound crazy. Shedeur, don't be running, big bro. Big bro. Shedeur, don't. Okay. All right. I got another one. Come on, big bro. With a name like Big Bro, how you gonna be taking me out of context? I don't know how much football you watch, Big Bro. With a name like Big Bro, you should like watch football. There's your pocket quarterback. There's your mobile quarterback. All right. So if you say a person is a pocket quarterback, it doesn't mean they don't run. When you say somebody's a mobile quarterback, it doesn't mean that they're not capable of being in the pocket. Right? So one thing doesn't have to cancel out the other. Nowhere in anything that I said is that Shedeur don't be running. So I don't know how I sound crazy because I never said that. You know, I don't know. Come on, big bro. Work with me here, okay? I know sometimes certain things hit your ear a different way. Like, for instance, I'll give you this. This is crazy. I'm listing. I got the Dylan. There's one video that I put out going over the stats. It's like it sort of went viral, kind of already. I'm basically just listing. Shedeur has 17 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel has 10. Shedeur has 5,000 yards. Dylan Gabriel has this. I'm just saying that. And somebody said I was a hater. It said Dylan Gabriel, he played 6 years. Shedeur only played 4. So you are a hater. I was like, what did you hear me say? All I said was, this is the stat. This is the stat. There's touchdowns. Shedeur has this many. Dylan Gabriel has this many. I was just listing the stats, and it's calling me a hitter. I never said, big bro, I never said Shedeur don't be running. I said he's a pocket quarterback. And then I said that Jalen Milroe is he's a mobile quarterback. That is the trajectory of the NFL, where the NFL is going. They want more mobile quarterbacks. So it's not that Shedeur can't run. So I know when you say one thing, it sounds like you are going against Shedeur. I get it. I understand it. All right. So, yeah, DC said, yeah, I mean, Shedeur is not considered a mobile quarterback. Everybody should know that. I mean, if you are a Colorado fan, you should know that. It doesn't mean he can't run. If he takes off, you got footage of him scoring touchdowns with his legs. You feel me? So it's not like if I say Shedeur's not a mobile quarterback, it doesn't mean that his legs are incapable of running. That's not what that says, okay? Please work with me, please. DC says Shedeur is not considered a mobile quarterback. Yes, he can run and avoid, but he's not fast or elusive enough to fit in that category. That is true. That's exactly what it is. Tim said that's selective hearing. Selective hearing. That's what it is. I know you want to hear one thing. I'm not a hater, okay? If anything, this disclaimer, I am going to be critical. I'm a Shedeur and Deion Sanders supporter, but I'm going to be critical. This is football. I'm trying to build credibility here in these streets. I need more media people to be like, yo, go listen to TLP Sports Club, because they have a lot of good information that you're going to get about the Big 12, college football. And then when they transition to the NFL, now we have an NFL platform conversation that we're going to be having. All right. So TLP is that place where I'm trying to build credibility. So I can't do too much pom-poms. I have to stay neutral at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? I can't do too much of this. I just want you to. Oh man. Oh man. All right, so I can't do too much of that. Okay. Yes, I'm a supporter, but and then I also want to let a lot of people know, the interview that I did with Eric, a lot of people were in the comments, and I felt like, okay, I didn't respond to everybody, but a lot of people are in the comments and they're like, oh, shut up, and why are you talking? And I just want you to know, listen, when you're conducting an interview, you have to do it in a way where, first of all, I'm a fan and I'm working for TLP Sports Club. Let's just say, like, when TLP Sports Club get to that point where it's so big that is a media giant, or is a media is out there and is covering youth football, youth sports, the NFL, any kind of sports, like, I will be one of those employees. I'll be one of those guys. So let's just pretend it's ESPN, right? Let's just dream big. It's ESPN, right? And I'm covering a lot of things. I'm doing summer camps. I'm paying free summer camps for kids. That's going to come in the near future, right? For parents who don't have enough money to put their kids in summer camp, because that was me one time at one point where my kids are watching television and I didn't have the money to put them in the camps because it was too expensive. It was only a couple of $100s, but I just ain't got it, right? So I was there at one point. So I want to create that environment where I want to create something where TLP Sports Club is putting on these camps, or is able to pay for kids to go to camp for free. That's something that's coming. So let's just say when TLP gets there, I'm an employee. So if I'm conducting an interview, understand that I have to step back as a fan and I have to conduct the interview properly. All right. I told y'all in the beginning of the live that I'm not a journalist, but I did study journalism when I was doing my film studies. I did take a few journalism classes, so the basic journalism, the basic understanding of journalism, I have that. So when I'm doing the interviews, I have to step back as the fan, and I have to be objective with the questions. I'm asking questions to get answers that may be fed to the media, and other media people would get that information. So it's not like I can't be all like googly-eyed Shedeur fan. Oh my gosh, you're doing a great thing. God bless you. Shedeur is going to be great. Like, you got to step back as a fan and just be like, all right, so let me ask you questions based on the media, how the media works. All right, so I just want some people out there that was like, I guess they don't really understand. Sometimes you have to interject. Sometimes you're going, because of the way that the conversation is going. Yeah, you may step on what the interviewee is saying because you're thinking of a question, and it's not like I'm a grown man. Stop telling me to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up and let the guy talk. I was like, dang, bro, like, give me a chance. Like, if you realize, probably like it was over an hour interview. I think it was an hour and 13 minutes. Like, I'll let them talk for the most part, but there was some pressing questions I had to ask. But anyways, that's that. All right, what are you saying over here? Shedeur does have decent speed when he runs, though. He could convert a 3rd and 6 if he tried. Yes, because there was one time where Coach Prime said, hey, man, when you have an opportunity, get out of the pocket and run. Okay, one little picky thing that I want to say about Shedeur. Like, Shedeur goes backwards, not forward, right? He goes backwards, not forward. So I'm hoping that the Cleveland Browns are going to work on him going forward, right? Because when the line is collapsing, you don't want your quarterback to go backwards, because now you're giving the linebackers a direct line to you. Because as soon as that line collapses, if you're not outside of that collision, then you're going to get tackled, or you're going to now be running around going left and right. Like, you don't want that to happen. If the line starts to collapse, because those guys are coming at a specific speed, right? So sometimes, guess who did this correctly? Who did this very well and beat us? Ravioli. You don't know who Ravioli is? Dylan Ravioli. I call him Ravioli, but it's Dylan Raiola. All right, with Nebraska. Little Mahomes. I don't know why this kid wants to dress, look, and talk like Mahomes, like glasses and everything. Like, it's getting a little weird. The haircuts and everything looking like Mahomes. I can't tell the difference anymore. But anyway, Dylan Raiola is really good with stepping up in the pocket. If you go back and you watch that Nebraska game against Colorado, Dylan Raiola was just dancing like, you know how the what do they call those guys that dances with the bowl? The guy with the red flag and stuff. Like, the ball would be coming charging at them 100 miles per hour, and then right at the right time they'd be like, whoop, whoop. Somebody dropped the name of that. Oh my God, I know the name. I just got the name. I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to remember it because I don't really know the name, but I heard the name before. But anybody that knows the name of those guys that with the red thing. But anyways, so Dylan Raiola did that very well. That's what I noticed in that Nebraska versus Colorado game. That when that line is starting to collapse, all you got to do is just step in. Those linebackers come running, step to the left, step to the right, go forward. Matador, thank you. I knew it. The Matadors. The Matadors, VI born and bred. Salute to you, my guy. The Matadors, they'll step to the side. Yes, you got to be a Matador, okay? So, yeah, Dylan did that very well, all right? I don't like Nebraska, but, because they're a rival. I'm a Colorado fan, they're a rival, but you got to, game recognized game. If Shedeur can really start doing that instead of going backwards like 90% of the time, Shedeur got a few things to fix and he will be dangerous. Like, I don't know. People don't understand this. If this kid fits his handoff, not going backwards, a few things to fix because he got so many intangibles, good intangibles. Like, he fixes just a few things. Whew, he's going to be a really good quarterback. Just listen to your OC, listen to your coaches and how they coach you for the NFL. Because the NFL game is very different. It's very different, and I think it's best for how Shedeur understands and approach football. The NFL is perfect for him. So now all we got to wish for is healthy. He got to be healthy, and then the organization just having his best interest. Obviously, when you have five girlfriends, it's hard for you to be like, "Hey, baby, I love you. Hey, baby, I love you. Hey, baby." You got to say, "Hey, baby, I love you" 5 times. So I don't know if the fifth girl feeling like I'm priority. You know what I'm saying? If by the time you get to the fifth girl, she's like, I know you said it 4 other times. Yeah, you love me. I know there's a little bit of love in there, but it's like this. That's weird, right? You want a team to invest in you, so it's. I don't know if the fan base like. How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel like Shedeur is going to get the type of nurturing that he needs in his first couple of years? I feel like he's gonna have to go to a team unless Cleveland is willing to just invest the time and make him the QB1 and invest the time. But if I want Shedeur to be with an organization that gives him the kind of attention that he needs to develop his game. Being amongst 5 other quarterbacks is not the right way to develop a young quarterback like Shedeur. And I know he's going to be great. He's going to be great, but he just needs the time. He needs that TLC. Um, Peter Investor, what up, my guy? Hope all is well, homie. Y'all see that green letter on Peter? That Peter's name is highlighted. That means that he is a member of the channel. So that's my guy from day one. All right. Peter Investor is a member of the channel. To become a member, you can go to the channel and click on membership. I have different types of membership. What up, Peter Investor? Hope all is well. Um, Rodney Brooks says he has a mediocre line, so he would be fine as a pocket QB. First game he plays, he will have a 250 plus yards passing and a great run game. Okay. DC Carson Music. What up, DC? How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, my brother. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I wanted to come on here tonight and dispel some of these rumors and make sure that people, because a lot of people are out there that don't really have, the NFL is not that good with like giving out information in preseason. So a lot
Hmm.
of people are looking to us for the information, but then you got channels that are not being responsible with the information. So it's like you don't want to scare the people and be like Shadeur's about to part with the Browns and stuff like that. I was like, come on, man, I gotta go live today.
Right. Well, the media is trying to, generate that buzz, generate that drama to pull people in, and they'll say something and then turn around and say something totally different the other day. I was like, wait a minute. Just the other day, you were saying he was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now the media is saying something. That's the bipolar aspect of the media, but it is to be expected. But that's why they got TLP, because you're gonna keep it raw and uncut.
Yeah, man, we gotta, we're trying to build TLP to be that place where people come for legit information on YouTube. Look, when you come to TLP, you're like, all right, he gonna keep it funky. He gonna give you straight information. All right. I mean, you might get preached to, but I'm just saying, who don't need a little bit of God with their football, right? Right, right, DC.
That's all right. Hey, they talk about all kind of stuff themselves, man. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Tim Smith Dallas is in the building. What up, Tim? What's going on, my brother? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you, brother. You ready, Tim? Or you got to press that button? You talking or no? All right. So Tim is not ready to talk yet. Tim, when you're ready, come on. DC, let me ask you a question. We both watched the video clip when the analyst was talking,
Hmm.
and he was like, they're trying to set up Pickett. They're trying to set Pickett up to trade him. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to up his value to trade him. I wanted to get your
Hmm.
thoughts on that. What do you think about that? I feel like that was a good idea. I didn't think about it, but I thought when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. You want to increase his value right now so that somebody will call and make you an offer. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think that's wise. I mean, of course, they're in the trading business. They're in the winning football, but also trading to get good pieces. So, I mean, it makes sense. But I also think the game is that it also, when you start feeding stuff off into the media, that stuff gets the players and their agent talking. as well. Like for example, hey, you better bring your A game here because if not, you might not be here. So I think it's a whole lot of other little head games going on, but that's what it's all about.
So yeah, for a lot of people that don't know, the media is just as part of the game as any other entity that is around the teams. All right, the media is the one that keeps the buzz and the excitement going. And believe it or not, YouTube is very valuable to the media. YouTube is part of the media now. All right, some people don't, they want to downplay YouTube and whatnot. Yeah, Stephen S. But when it gets to the Stephen S. Smiths, like we get the nitty gritty. So let's just say if we if we were to say, okay, this is how it works in the journalism, we would be the beat, right? We would be the beat writers. So because we give you all of the little nooks and crannies and little little nuggets and stuff like that you're not gonna get on your ESPNs and those big channels. You're not gonna get it over there. You come here to TLP, I mean to TLP or other YouTube channels to get that. Tim, you good? How you doing, brother? Your audio may be like something may be going on with your audio. You might have to on
Hey,
Tim,
can
you
you hear
here?
me? Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. When I was finna chime in, phone wrong. So
Say that again.
no, my phone had wrong. So
Oh, your
somebody
phone.
was
Okay,
calling me.
okay.
Yeah, I'm good, brother. How about y'all, man?
All is well. So
Good.
okay, so most people thought that I guess when you try to explain like the different amount of snaps that that the quarterbacks are going to get because of the pecking order, most people are trying to interpret that as some type of slight as Shedeur. They don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? So we had to make sure that we understand. Like, okay, it's not. There's no slight against Shedeur. It's just like this is the pecking order. But let me get your opinion on this whole. What happens if Deshaun Watson comes back? What are y'all thinking about if he comes back? What happens?
Um,
Because it's a strong possibility. Because if you pay attention to social media and how he's talking, it sounds like that this guy wants to come back and he wants to be taken seriously.
I mean, my opinion is him posting it on social media. That's just to continue to keep himself relevant. But if he does come back, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I would actually, in all honesty, be happy that he would be if he's labeled the day one starter. I wouldn't have any problem with that. I actually be happy that he the day one starter because that allows Shador uh, to get more time to study the playbook. Not only that, study the speed of the game and everything. It just come with being an NFL quarterback in this league.
DC, you here?
Yeah, I'm here. See, I see a lot of little different things going on. And that's the interesting thing stuff about the NFL is that can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
This interesting thing about the NFL. So, for example, if Deshaun Watson is already hearing from Cleveland that we about to cut you, we about to let this go. So, of course, his thing is, hey, I got to do whatever I got to do to maintain some relevancy. So, if I trade, I can get the best trade. The same thing with Kenny Pickett that he wants that fifth year option. Cleveland said they were not going to honor it. So his thing is, I have to maximize my trade value. This because, folks, I know we like to sit back and have the love for Shador and the Sanders and stuff like that, but this is a business. This is not so much about Shador. You can get into all the things, the collusion and stuff like that. But if we're gonna, but there are also some actual football things to deal with. So Kenny
Bro,
Pickett has
bro,
got to say.
tell him about Watson, bro.
Right.
Like,
So like let me just put it to you like this. All right. So here's the thing, because Tim is leading to it, and I wanted to hear him even unpack it more, is that I know we want to see Shador jump on the field day one, but that's not necessarily advantageous to him. Okay, because the
Hmm.
reality is, folks, check this out. Can we all agree that Cleveland was not looking for a franchise QB this draft? Is that true or not true?
I don't think we know.
I don't think they were because they traded back in the first round. They could have picked Travis up, or they could have picked Cam Ward up, or they could have picked some. I don't think they would have got Cam Ward, but they could have picked somebody else. But they traded back, so they're not trying to have a franchise QB. And part of that is because you would not be able to afford to pay the franchise QB and Watson at the same time. You literally would hardly have nobody else have money
Oh,
to
okay.
be able to pay. So let's just go ahead and get that out. As long as they have Watson, they were not going to get a franchise QB. So now what is this year about?
That makes
This
sense.
year,
That
right,
makes
what
sense.
right, this year right now is about finding a good, solid, serviceable QB. Now understand, you can sit back and you say you want them to win, but do they have all the pieces to win? That's debatable. Because if the Browns in a situation where if they suck, they get to go and pick a whole lot of good stuff out of the next draft. If they're just good enough, 500, 600, they have cost themselves draft picks. So you got to balance that in there. We're going, hey, we want Shedeur to be X, Y, and Z. We want this stuff to happen. But at the end of the day is the better they do, the worse their draft situation is. And that was worse that have that where they prolong some stuff. So anyway, I see a lot of stuff going on. Watson is basically saying, oh no, y'all not about to get rid of me. My career is not over. I'm finna fight for it. And the truth be told, Watson got some stuff going on, but he's still probably after three, if all three are healthy. And I'm talking about Flacco, Pickett, and Watson. Probably is the best one. Just keeping it real.
Watson, who? What'd you say?
I would say he probably out the three out of what? Again, I'm not talking about rookies. I'm talking about the vets.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Pickett and Flacco and Watson. Watson is probably, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the best gigantic QB ever. I'm just saying
You gotta
he,
around here you gotta preface it, right?
yes, you do. I'm saying he's probably it's their best bet.
So
And just to throw on top of that, I'm sorry, Harry.
go ahead.
You absolutely right, DC. I would say out of the five, because the other two have never played a down in the NFL. So out of the five, Deshaun Watson is the best. A healthy Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in that room, hands down.
Yes. Like, I mean, there's no argument on that. Like, if you're
No,
arguing about that, then that means you don't know who Deshaun Watson is. And yeah. So I have this list up because DC brought up the fact that there is going to be they may have Cleveland Browns, in case you didn't know, they have the first pick in the 2026 NFL draft. Okay. Again. All
They
right.
might not have it because that's going to depend on how sucky they are. If they suck real bad, they'll get first. But they do have two first round picks.
Okay. So, okay. They may not have the first, the number one draft pick, but they'll have first round, right? So
Yeah,
here
they'll
are,
have two of them.
so here are the quarterbacks, the possible franchise quarterbacks. And this list, it says the ranking the top 18 QBs heading into the 2025 season. So these are the QBs that would be a potential draft or in the draft. And I would say you're probably looking at what's the name? The Manning, right? Manning kid at number 11 from Texas. Do y'all think he comes out because people are wanting to come out, or he stays in?
I'll
What do
let
y'all think?
DC
Stays.
go first, and I'll give you my take.
I think he stays.
Tell me why you think he stays.
Upside to him. He gets. I just think that
Well,
for
he'll be a
me,
junior, right?
right? Can he come out next year? Yes, but I mean, these days, just keep it real. You're making pretty good money in college. You know, some people like Shedeur took a pay cut to come to the NFL, and
Ain't that crazy? Like, say
that
that
is
again.
crazy.
Like the sound of that.
That dude, that is nuts. So like you sit back and go, and Dylan was good. Dylan would have came out. No, Dylan was smart. Play all your years, and you walk out of here with bread.
How
I
crazy
think
does that sound? He took a pay cut to go to the NFL.
right. That's nuts. So now, of course, Manning goes. Now here's the thing. I'm just gonna call it out for what it is. Peyton Manning the Manning was like, he ain't going, Peyton ain't going to this team, and he didn't. And then with even Eli, he ain't going. Arch Manning is not going to the Browns. There ain't no way they letting that happen. So so we're taking that off of the thing. For me personally, that's what I think is that this thing, oh, Arch Manning, no, there's no, put it like this, Harry B and Tim. Are you sending your son to the Browns? Or are you saying, no, dog, you ain't going? Even Prime said it, even though
Yo,
he wanted to have to do something. But
yo,
come on.
that's the funny part. I think the Browns is where Prom was when Prom made that statement in the media. I think the Browns was one of those teams.
It was. He said in 2018, he said that ain't a place for a QB. You know, you saw the thing. So at the end of the day, folks, look, Arch Man is not going. More than likely, though, what I hear the rumors are is they really are interested in sellers sellers at South Carolina. He is a mobile quarterback, almost toasted Bama. Dude is a baller. He is a baller, dual threat. That's a baller. So I think that out of those, maybe they won't clue. But anyway, back to
Yeah,
this is that.
let him hear. Tim,
Go
Tim,
ahead,
go
Tim.
ahead. Let me hear your thoughts on this. Oh
First of
man.
all, Cleveland Browns is a morgue for
Mm.
quarterbacks. I've been saying that forever. I'm not gonna shy away from it. That place is a graveyard for first rounders. Second of all, there's no way in HE hockey stick that uh Arch Manning and them are gonna let that 11th ranked quarterback go to the Cleveland Browns. No way. They will make him stay in college another year or two and add more money into his bank account. So when he do go into the NFL, hopefully the Browns ain't even an organization anymore. But
Come on, Tim. Damn,
I'm
bro.
just saying, at least he could go in there if they do him like they did Shedeur. At least he could still go in there with about $20 million.
Bro, but think about it, yo. If you draft Shedeur and Dylan, you're not getting rid of them just yet, right? And you're gonna bring in a Manning on top of that. How crazy would that look?
I
Does
think
that
they're
does
gonna
that
get
mean
rid
you
of some
get rid of
people.
Manning or you get rid of whoever comes on there?
I think Pickett, my opinion, Pickett is auditioning to be possibly traded. I'm not 100% sure or sold on that, but uh, I don't think nobody wants a washed up 40-year-old QB. And Deshaun Watson, he just injury prone, man. He didn't got all that money and he haven't produced down there. And they gave him all that money to be the producer that they were hoping for. But the Browns didn't get that QB thing wrong year after year, decade after decade
I
after
know,
decade.
man. It's just
So
and then to be having go ahead. Finish your
no,
thought.
I was just gonna say I'm thinking that between Shador and Gabriel, with either Pickett maybe possibly staying or going, uh, they trying to fill out to see, okay, can they possibly be the face of this franchise? Can they possibly be the quarterback that we've been looking for? This organization been looking for. So if one of them pan out to be what they was looking for, then you don't go in there and get a quarterback in the first round of 2026. You build around that quarterback that you're hopefully thinking that's gonna get you to a playoff or possibly a national championship one day.
That's a fact. And what JR Boxer, what up, man? Hope all is well. Um, he does come on the panel sometimes. Just salute to you. Manning doesn't have enough time on task, potentially 15 to 18 collegiate games. So yeah, so you think about it. That's why I'm like, wait a minute. All this noise they're making about a kid that hasn't even played enough snaps. He was a backup. This is all about the name. So y'all respect the Manning name more than you do the Sanders name? Like, anyway, that's a whole nother argument. But think about it, right? Manning, this will be his first start in college. So that means that he would have only played 1 year to be the number 1 pick quarterback in the NFL? That don't make that. Y'all don't think that's crazy?
I don't think it's crazy necessarily on one end.
But
Because we
hold on,
got to
DC.
take it.
You know I got to pull your card on this, DC.
Come on.
If,
Yeah.
as hard as you be going against Shedeur, I got to pull your card because now you're trying to make an argument for a kid
Be careful,
that would
Harry.
have only started
Yeah,
12
Harry gonna
games.
walk off into it, but that's all right. Go right ahead, Harry.
No,
Continue.
I'm just saying. Come on, man. You know I got to come for you. I'm coming
Yes.
for you now. Come on, because you go hard on
But you
Shedeur.
ain't let me finish saying what I was gonna say.
I don't care. I'm still gonna come for you
Go ahead.
because you've been going hard. But Shedeur played 4 years and he was good. You haven't seen Manny play a good solid 3 games.
Stop, Harry. Stop while you ahead.
I don't know.
Please.
I
Yes.
don't know.
Yes.
I may not want this smoke I'm stepping into, but I'm trying my best here. All right, go ahead, DC. Take it. Let
Stepping
me
on
see.
lava.
Go ahead,
All
cook
right.
a little bit. Let me hear you
So
cook.
so I'll play nice. What I'll sit back and say is that I can't do that the arch and the Shedeur comparison. What I could say is, unfortunately, there is perception as reality, and Arch has, for what we've seen, has done pretty good against some pretty good talent. However, I
But
think what
how are you calculating this pretty
I
good?
think
Only
what we're
a few snaps?
I think from what I'm saying is this. If this is more so, that would be for perception if he comes out where they would put him there. Because again, we got to see what this season looks like. If he doesn't look good this season, then that's one thing. But this kid has historically, just like Shador, has historically had this thing is that, hey, this is a pretty solid QB. So what I'm saying is, I don't, for at this point, if that I'm not going to sell Arch Manning. I won't tell that in this conversation. What I'm saying is
Are you
there's a
as bullish?
perception.
Are you as bullish as other analysts are on Manning?
I would.
I'm gonna tell you, man, he can make some throws. The what I've seen, he can make the throws. But again, on the flip side, I've watched Shador make some phenomenal throws. So that's why I don't want to get into the comparison. I would just sit back and say, I tell you what, I would say is that right now we're dealing with a perception thing, but I have seen what Arch has been able to do. I've seen what Shador has been able to do. But Tim, what are you saying?
I want that smoke. I want any smoke anybody
Yeah,
want to throw at me.
yeah, Tim.
And this is my reason why.
Yeah, let me
I-
hear the debauchery you about to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought you was finna. I thought you was finna put that heat up on high on the DC, but I'll go ahead and handle it for you.
I was being nice. I was like, let me just back out and just go ahead.
Okay.
Yo,
This is
hear this 12-game debauchery. Go ahead.
This is my reasoning why.
Uh-huh.
If the Manning was to come out, even though, like JR said, he's absolutely right. He has not really played an entire season as the starting quarterback. But that name carries tremendous weight. It carries tremendous weight.
So does the
Hold
Sanders.
on. No. It's two different. It does carry weight
Till
in
it
the
comes to QB.
in the African American community. Okay. Arch
Yeah,
Manning.
what's the difference? Listen.
One
is a QB. Both of them are QB.
I'll put it to you like this. 2 of them sons then won Super Bowls. So with that being said, what you think bringing in the third one gonna do? With 2 that done already won Super Bowls. Come on, man. 2
but
didn't won Super Bowls.
this guy played 3 games. I mean, come on, like
It would be the,
it doesn't
but it would be
matter.
the. Put it like this: it would be
it
the
doesn't
equivalent.
matter.
It would be the equivalent of if Brady had sons.
Man, come on, man.
That's what it would be the equivalent.
Ronaldo or so. Okay, so we just gonna crown the sons. That's it.
No, I'm
No.
not doing that. I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm saying. Like y'all y'all telling me that okay, I'm not prepared for no strong argument tonight, but still, like I'm trying my best here, right? But it's like, come on, we're just gonna crown. If we're just gonna crown, then we got to consider Dion and all of his Super Bowl and then his MLB gene, right? Even Trump said the dude has the right genes, right? He even said like he played in the MLB and he played in the NFL. So why his gene can't be the same gene? And like we can't make those arguments. We're giving this guy all these props. They're ranking Texas as number one on like some pre-drafts because of Manning, and he's only played 3 games.
It's
Come
the
on.
pieces around him also, though, Harry.
Oh no, and of course, of course,
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
the pieces around him. Like, for example, Shedeur basically was back there. I put it like this. Every game I watched was basically a Scream movie where Shedeur was running for his life and trying to dodge the man with the mask and knife trying to stab him. That's what it was. Whereas this is a different one. So at the end of the day is that I think that he's at a place where he's gonna number one get the visibility and number one two he's got the pieces around him where he won't have to do as much as I mean, it is what it is. It's not a slight against Shador. It's just to a point of you just Texas and then who Texas plays if he plays solid. But that doesn't mean, again, like I sit back and say, I'm not going to say what Shador will do in the NFL because I know people are saying, hey, well, he was him in it. Listen, it's plenty of folks that was him in college and was not them in pros. And so we got to see what Arch does. If Arch does what he's projected to do, then this is a moot conversation. But time will tell, and JR is right. We need to see the film. But I don't think he comes out this year. I think it's too much money for Texas to keep him. I think they keep him for 2 years.
Yeah,
Hey, DC,
it
I don't
doesn't
mean to
make sense.
interrupt.
Go ahead, go ahead.
If he did come out and he went to the Cleveland Browns, right?
That ain't happening.
I'm just saying, just for the sake of the
CC don't
conversation.
even want to entertain that conversation.
I know he don't, but that would to me, man, that just seemed like that would be his downfall. I hate that Shador is over there. I really,
Uh,
truly
hey man,
hate it.
they're gonna pull another Eli. I don't see a Manning going to Cleveland. Cleveland is a dumpster place. It's not a we only like having these Cleveland Brown conversations and lives because Shador's there. I mean, like let's just be frank. Like Cleveland, I don't even want to be talking about Cleveland. No disrespect, maybe disrespect to Cleveland Brown fans. The fans they ain't got nothing to do with this. I mean, they're good people, and I'm sure my brother went to Youngstown University, so Cleveland is not a Ohio, and it's not a bad place. But I'm just saying the team is some garbage. All right, but
Yeah, but you know what, Harry, here go the thing that,
mhm.
I think sometimes people are into it because we look at Shador and Prime's pathway, football. JSU was in the bottom, wasn't good for a while, though JSU has a lot of SWAC championships. And then they come in and they change the program. Then you go to Colorado, we say they were 1-11 the year before, even though it was generally a 4-8 team. That they did have 1-11 years, and then they change it around, and now it's good. So I think people are expecting, okay, I see a pattern here. But you need to go look at, like you said, look at the
But you
Browns
don't
path.
have
We
to
talk
go to the
about 30
bottom.
years.
Right, like
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
what
have to
I'm
go
saying.
all the way to the bottom to like like Liberian people we eat rice crust. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to always scrape the rice crust. Like that's the Cleveland Brown is the bottom of the barrel.
Dude, it's under the barrel.
Yeah,
It's where the
that's what I'm
maggots and
saying.
everything is. So here's the thing. Can I just go ahead? I'm gonna say this on the record. If he earns the job, I'm fine. But if he sits, I'm all in favor of that because you want to save yourself to be able to further evaluate. I want to see him in games, but to go in here into this environment when it's not structured for you to win and you're not gonna get paid, I think it's best to sit and learn for a while. I would not want
Hey,
if he came in. Go ahead.
they're talking like over there in Washington they're talking like putting your boy Milrow in packages. What are the chances? What are the chance of the Cleveland Browns being creative and testing the waters on their rookies and putting them in packages.
All I'm gonna say to you is that when Deshaun Watson got hurt, he was back for a pass. He was going back for a pass. There were games last year. They were the record to have the most sacks ever in the season. I'm just telling y'all that. So we saw what Shedeur was doing when he
So are you
behind the
for
line.
or against packages? I don't know. What are you saying?
Bro, no, I don't want no package. Gatorade, sit down, look at the playbook. What package is there in Cleveland? They had 5 QBs the year before play and 4. There ain't no package.
I'm just saying, like, okay, I know why they're trying to use Milrow because he can run, right?
He's
Yes.
almost like a running back.
That's what I'm saying. So they're gonna use him in running situations, but there's no way for you to, because you remember Texas also used some packages where they brought Manning in and they tested him on certain plays.
College. That's college, Harry. Don't compare college to the NFL.
I'm using the Melrose situation too. I'm throwing that in too. So if they can do that in Seattle, right, then Cleveland doesn't have a chance to like try out their rookies to see what happens.
Yeah, if they go 0-6, start the season.
You know what, Tim? He's trying to do that.
We're going 0-6. Like what are we doing? What do you mean 0-6?
They have the third hardest schedule in the NFL.
Schedule?
The third hardest one.
You gotta do a
so
schedule.
basically,
We gotta do a schedule show too.
Right. The only package that they tested right there is to see how good the cart runs out on the field and picks somebody up and takes it on back. No, I don't want to see.
Yo, you know what? You guys are not playing along. Anyways, let's leave that alone. Let me. I wanted to I was gonna have a football conversation, but this show got to end soon. So these quarterbacks, right? I put this. Look, this thing only got. I had to like this stuff myself. I'm gonna unlike and I'm gonna like again. Oh, you don't get extras. I thought you can keep clicking the like, but y'all don't be interacting with these things. But this is important. Let's look at this list. This is if they're projecting these, right? These are the quarterbacks, right? What do we say the quarterbacks? How important is the college quarterback to the actual team, right?
Hold on, is that the draft one? Because why would Lagway? I thought he was a sophomore. Why would he be on that list? Is this the top quarterback or is the top projected draft quarterback?
No. This is not the draft one. This is not the draft.
Okay, this is the top quarterback for college next year. All right, because a couple of them are not coming out next year. But continue.
Right. So Georgia Tech, right? I wanted to kind of switch to what's the name? Colorado. Colorado has to play Georgia Tech. Game number 1. This guy's a beast. We already know that. Y'all remember the Georgia game, right? Wasn't it like, was it 8 overtimes or was it 18?
It was 8.
8 overtimes, right? They were about to pull off the upset. This guy, King, gets to play Colorado. Do y'all think you can even compare King with any quarterback in that Colorado locker room? Did my internet break or are y'all taking a breath?
You talking about compare King to the quarterback room in
Georgia Tech has to play Colorado game number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I want your thought on Colorado's quarterback room versus Georgia Tech quarterback room. Is there any comparison? Can we even come close to King and Colorado's quarterback room?
Man, King is
he's a king.
Yeah, bro. Like he really can ball out. But
was he hurt last year?
I think
he was playing hurt, wasn't he?
Near the end.
Yeah, near the end.
He was hurt. I think Juju is a better passer than he is, but I don't expect to see Juju on the field.
Kalen Salter gonna shock a lot of people, man.
So Tim, you can compare King. You can find nuances within their each game and say Kalen Salter can hold his own against King.
Yes, Kalen Salter can hold his own against King, man.
Word? I don't see it. Tim. We're gonna have to have one of those marathon shows that what's the name Phil talks about. because we're gonna have to talk about this. You're saying that? Are you sure? I don't know. I don't know, man.
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
that's probably to be the first game in a while where Colorado did not have the best QB on the field. And because you have to look at longevity, this person's been in the program. King is there. I'm not saying that Colorado cannot win this game, and I'm not saying they won't. I'm just sitting back saying if I had to pick a brand new QB who just got to the school and is getting used to this personnel versus somebody that has been in school for multiple years, I'm gonna go with that experience. It's not saying that Salter won't come out there and blow us away because he definitely has the potential, but it's still teams that have been together in consistency that goes a long way. So I'm gonna have to get a nod to King.
And then this is the first year we get to see Coach Prime coach somebody other than his kids. And then Peter Investor said it boils down to see you really running the ball well. Yeah, I mean that jury is still out there.
So,
Hey, I got a
I
but check
think,
it.
question for you too, Harry. When
yeah,
you
man.
get
Go ahead with your question.
Shadozi, I heard that he was coming back, that he's back.
Stop playing.
No, I heard that yesterday, and I was just curious, was it true? Because he didn't get picked up by a team, so I heard he was back in there working out and stuff.
No, I heard Shadozi. I thought he was on. He was undrafted free agent. Um, going maybe not. No, I don't think so, bro.
They say it's fake news. I did see a little something, but
Oh, okay.
right, said it. But let me ask you this, Harry, with well, are we talking college? Because I know you got to wrap up, and I want to get in your way.
Yeah. Let's dig a little bit into college and then we'll wrap up. I didn't have enough time to spend on college.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm a,
we'll have to get into college. I can't even get into BYU not having their quarterback and everything. But we'll do more time next time.
oh,
But go ahead.
well, I think the thing that you're looking at is I'm curious to see what kind of team this year is. Georgia Tech may have I think Colorado's gonna have better players, but I think this first game, because that's what you start off with, I think that Georgia Tech, you know, probably has the edge, and mainly it's because I got a question mark on Colorado's linebacker room. If you don't have a good linebacker room on that QB, he's gonna eat you alive. So the problem is not gonna be can K Salter throw and can he run? It's to a point of Shedeur and Travis, because that was the dynamic duo right there, was able to score at will. When you don't have that and you don't have that timing, because think how long they were together. And every year, Shedeur and Travis got better and better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that last year, wasn't no stopping them. We don't have that combo this year, and not saying that Salter won't get on. And then we lost. You lost a lot of receivers to the draft. So the thing is, do you have that type of weapon, as much weaponry? Will the timing be there? Because you can't take a team like Georgia Tech who can hang physically with SEC teams, because they did it a couple of times, and this ain't gonna be no pushover game.
Hey, can I say something to that? I got a
Go ahead. Did your audio cut, Tim? All right, Tim's audio cut. So Tim, come back in when you can. So here's some news on Chidozie, former 5-star uh, among Colorado Buffaloes, still looking for NFL opportunity. Well, this was May 7th from Jack Carlo at the Buffaloes Wire. So it says both. Okay, so it says former 5-star offensive lineman Cardell Thomas, one among a few former Colorado Buffalo players still looking for an NFL opportunity. Both went undrafted and reportedly did not receive any rookie minicamp invites. Yeah, that's weird.
That is weird.
For
But I
Chidozie?
I do hope that he is CFL, or to see him. He can't do the UFL this year, but he could do it next year.
Out of all the people that I think I said something about his size like in 2024, well, like last year I was talking about his size, and that was going to be a situation for him when it came to like playing. Tim, are you back?
But I wanted to say this, Harry. Like, I did see where someone was saying Colorado's loaded wide receiver room. Yeah, I understand that. I do understand that. But check this out. Did y'all see how if first game against North Dakota State, it was not as crisp, and then it began to progressively get better? Because remember, we were talking about like the line getting better, the trenches
Mhm.
getting better, everybody working together as a team, and we started seeing them get progressively better. That's the
Mhm.
thing. When you do a lot of portal stuff, your team is not always synchronized right off the bat. But then it takes them a little longer versus some teams that have been together from day one, they're good. So that's what I'm saying is that you have good receivers, but they weren't doing nowhere. But you also had, again, you had Shedeur have been throwing to Travis for 4 years. You don't have that type of synchronization. Then you don't automatically get that overnight. That takes time. I think they could. So it's not like if they were going against North Dakota State or let's say Wyoming, I would say the game is won. But when you're going to a team like Georgia Tech that has some team synergy, even though they lost a wide receiver to Auburn, they lost some things. That a team put it like this, we've seen what happens, and I pray it doesn't happen. But what happens when you go up against teams that can punch you in the mouth? Those are not easy games.
Like a Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is
Right.
going to come. Is going to come. Georgia Tech. What was it? The beginning of the season to beat Florida State. This is when Florida State was coming off of that 13-0 season, right?
Well, yeah. Like we know that Florida State wasn't that good, but Georgia Tech still was punching people in their face all over. They were a solid team. Put it like this:
They,
they're one of those teams that even if you win the game, you gonna feel like you got beat up.
oh my gosh, yo! But I don't know if you guys remember. That's how Colorado was in the 89 and 90s. That's how Colorado was that team. And that's the question I've been asking. Like, who who who's Colorado, and what does Coach Prime want Colorado's identity to be? Remember we had that show? Like, I don't know. It's like if Colorado can be like a Georgia Tech or like an Indiana. Like when you win the game, you come away feeling like, dang, I feel like we didn't win that game. I know Georgia won that game, but can Georgia really say, oh yeah? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna be proud to put that one away, and we want to forget that game. That's what I want Colorado to return back to its original ways it used to be. You did not want to come to Folsom Field back in the 90s to play Colorado.
Man, that Colorado and Nebraska, which was doing
Woo.
well at that time, used to go at it. And here go the thing, folks, and Surfer Boy know it all that kind of, as well as y'all. Wasn't no such thing as targeting. Wasn't no such thing as none of that. Rough in the passer was really rough. I don't even think they had rough in the passer. It was maybe unnecessary roughness, I think is what you call back then. And you had to really do like think about this, man. Do y'all not Bernie Kosar was sitting there talking about how well, he was talking about Shedeur, but he was talking about how brutal the game was, that he used to be coming up off the pile with bite marks and stuff. He said, imagine a
Wait,
grown man sitting there
what
biting you.
what
Yeah.
kind of face mask were they? Did they have that one bar face
You
mask?
saw you saw the face mask I had on my Cowboys helmet, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of face
Right.
mask,
If
bro.
you have a face
Bro,
mask like that, then yeah, you can come away with yo, guys will be under the pile like just biting.
trying to snap your finger back, all kind of stuff.
Yo, it was dirty back in the day. It was definitely dirty back in the day. But like that was football. I don't know that we would ever get football like that again. But I remember Colorado, even when I was not, familiar with Colorado, like when everybody used to be wearing Colorado jerseys and jackets and stuff like that, when back in the 90s, like I told you, I came here in 89 and I heard about Colorado, right? When I started learning about football, I knew about Colorado. not as much information as I have now, but back in the day, you knew that Colorado was that smash mouth football. Like I love it when we had that conversation about like what is Colorado's identity, like what is the current, what is Deion Sanders trying to make Colorado to be. I love that conversation. I would love to have that conversation again, but I feel like we should wait to see a few snaps before we have that conversation again, because do y'all feel connected to this team? The Louis boys, we felt connected to it, but do y'all feel connected to this team?
No, I don't. I
I
know
think
folks
we
could say,
will over time.
yeah, I know some folks could say, well, DC, you ain't feel nothing. You hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. No, I just don't. I don't see. Put it like this. I
But do
guess
you
my
think
thing
that's
is,
because of the buzz around Colorado, around Shedeur and Travis and them?
uh,
Is that what it is, or is there? And we have just forgotten.
who's
We
your
went to the NFL and left college, or what do you all think it is?
that I think some people did, but my question is gonna be, who's the leader? That's my
Who,
biggest
like
question.
who's the leader in the locker room right now? Right?
Yeah, that's my
They
biggest
say
question.
Jordan Seaton. Remember I asked that question in one of the lives. They say it's Jordan Seaton.
I wouldn't
I
be
mean,
surprised if it's Jordan
I,
Seaton. If it is Jordan Seaton, I would
But
be
you want your lineman to be a leader, like the leader?
yeah. Hey, I would because Jordan Seaton coming from the school that he's come from, and they're bringing in more guys from IMG. These are winning programs. Juju Lewis coming from the program that he came from at Carroll. So it's if he's the leader and the more vocal out of everybody, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ray Lewis was the leader. He was on defense.
Yeah. But I mean, Ray Lewis was a linebacker, bro. Let's get serious.
Jordan Seaton has a vision for himself to make it to the league.
You
And
barely
he
hear from the O line. You barely hear from the internal, like the trenches.
yeah, but I think we're gonna see more he's gonna be a lot more vocal just because he has the desire to win. He knows what it takes to win. Uh
Yo, what? Look at his handle, QB1 Shedeur Sanders. Who changed? Is this Shante? Who changed their YouTube handle to QB1 Shedeur? Is this a new YouTube channel, or did you change your QB1 Shedeur Sanders? Did you change your handle, or is this a new channel? This is interesting. So,
and they got
anyways,
him with a whole new jersey.
right. Should right. You got a whole nother jersey. So Jordan Seaton, Draylon Miller, Arden Walker, to name a few leaders. Are these outspoken leaders, or are these just people names you're calling? Because we know for sure that Jordan Seaton is outspoken, but you feel me? Like I don't know that Draylon Miller. I haven't heard Draylon Miller or Arden Walker like speaking out like you used to hear like Khalil Benson and all these other guys speaking out. I ain't gonna hold you, but man, I'm still thinking about this Shadozi thing. I don't know if it's because he's African, because you know I'm biased to all my Africans. But Shadozi is like, man,
that was
I'm,
your dude.
huh?
That was your dude.
That was my guy. I told y'all like that was my guy. For him not to get an invite. Okay, so let's explore that a little bit. Prom works these connections, right? Like maybe I'm mistaken, but Prom's name is in these halls, right? And remember now, we're talking about that whole 120 years of NFL experience, and they're like, oh, we prepare you guys for the NFL. He didn't get a rookie mini camp invite. You don't think that kind of like hits against that whole argument of NFLU?
No, I don't.
Tim, I was just going, Tim, you didn't even let me ask you. I was going to say, should we tell him? But I guess you done already told him.
Hold on.
No, folks,
Tell me what.
stop saying 120 something years of gold jackets, folks. That has obviously at this
I
point,
no,
we got to
no,
own
DC, no. You see, it's not 120 for gold jackets. NFL.
27 years.
There's
Oh,
other factors that go into it though, Harry.
folks, it ain't, it is to a point where no, no, that's not the thing now that could be some good intel, some good mentorship, yes. But that's not one of those things where it's like if it's between you and it put it like this: is that I don't think at the end of the day the NFL is going to draft you, and I think that is speed, size, all that kind of stuff. You gotta have that, and you gotta show out.
No,
So at
no,
the
no.
end of the day,
But y'all, I want to repeat my question because this is in good faith. I wish Phil was here because he's the gatekeeper for good faith questions. So this is in good faith. If you're gonna say we are NFLU, and then you put it out there in the media that we got a buck, a buck 20 something, and I think it's more than a buck 20 now because you added like two more NFL guys. You added Harsha Walker, and then you added the other guy.
You added Marshall Falk.
Yeah, that shadowed that whole thing, shadowed that whole 120. I think we're like 200 years now.
yeah. But Harry, here's the thing.
But no, let me ask my question again.
Go ahead.
If you if you're going to call yourself NFLU and you got a hard nosed hitter like Shadozi who pins guys and he has this amount of ability, and Coach Prime was like he's going to get drafted. Remember that conversation? Remember that little clip that Wello put out where Coach Prime and him were talking, and he said he's definitely going to go to the NFL, and then he doesn't even get an invite. Like I'm talking about, these are like these little frivolous things you just throw out there. You're like they give them away like candy, right? Do you think that there was some type of rift within the communication, or how come he doesn't get one?
No, it wasn't. I look at it like this. This
All
is
right.
just my point of view. He's gotten a lot farther than he would have if he would have stayed at his previous university, right?
Okay.
So he may have a chance to play in the XFL, uh, just because of what he showcased at Colorado last season. The factors of his height, yes, he's strong as an ox, but his wingspan, his speed, those factors play a humongous part when being drafted. Just because he's able to push up the middle doesn't mean nothing when you got somebody with longer arms, taller than he is.
But Tim,
Uh,
these are NFL players now. These
that's what I'm talking about.
those
You
are
got
some
NFL
big
players
dogs.
on. You got NFL players on the other side. So that's way taller, way faster. Their wingspan is a lot longer than his. He got short arms. So they that just won't be a good look for him. He'll make a good practice squad player, but I don't see anything beyond that point, man. I don't know. What about you, DC?
Yeah, I kind of see the same thing as that. They are NFL is not just looking at what you did in college, they're also looking at your athleticism. So why Milrow got drafted where he is. They're looking at measurables, they're looking at speed, they're looking at size, they're looking at arm length. That's why they do all that stuff. They're looking at vertical leap. That's why they do all those things, because all those things that matter. It doesn't mean you can't get that person who's just their tenacity overcomes their physical deficiency, even though we are talking about like super athletes. It's just to a point of, some of these. I mean, just go look at the stats of some of the linemen that got drafted, and you'll see, if you got short arms and you got going up against folks that's got long arms, you're gonna lose.
All right, so this is what who put this in there? This is what QB1 Shedeur Sanders put it in the chat. So what's this guy's name? Ford. Pona Ford. His height is 5'11". He weighs 310 pounds. He's 29 years old. He played for Texas. Well, he played for Texas in college. So I guess you can say, well, that was Texas, right? That would be his in.
He came out of the SEC.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that again that SEC bias, right?
Well,
You
here's
can
the thing.
say that.
Well, I was gonna sit back and say this is that when we say, like people were saying, Colorado's the pipeline to the NFL. If you look at this draft and look how many Ohio State had and Michigan, and you can't have
Oh,
that
that was
crown.
before Texas was SEC. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to
it,
step on that. Go
it
ahead.
did. Yeah, at the end of the day, is you got to take a look at it. Is that I think Colorado, what feels what Tim said was absolutely accurate. They did a lot to get him at least to the point to get you in the room. I don't think Prime gets you to the contract. I think he gets you to the room. He gets you the availability to be seen, and he did his job.
I wanted to do a show where I talked about Prime and like his responsibilities. But okay, so do you think Shadozi got in the rooms and he was not able to get a minicamp invite?
Go ahead, DC.
I'm just probing, guys. I'm not trying to start nothing. I ain't
I,
saying
I
Prime.
just
I'm
sometimes
just
sometimes
I'm
sometimes
just trying to have a
eh,
show here.
here's the thing, and sometimes it's not. It's sometimes it's not necessarily you. It's the timing and what is already in front of you. And that may be the thing the teams that he didn't really, or the teams didn't really need him. So that's the problem here. I think if he keeps pushing, all is not lost, that he just has to keep pushing. But again, sometimes, like for example, this QB draft, there wasn't a whole lot of QBs taken in the first 2, 3 rounds. So I mean, again, it does have to do with timing.
Hold up, Peter Investor. What are you reacting to saying reality versus fiction? Because I want to know what you're responding to. What do you mean reality versus fiction? On Black Bully? Oh, Black Bully? Not Black Bully. Black Bully ran like a 5.740 yard dash at Big 12 Pro Day. That probably hurt him because what else would he be? Yeah, that's interesting. So I don't know what other path he has. Maybe he has some other path that I'm not considering.
I mean, you could go to the XFL and get picked up out of the XFL right into the NFL. So it's
That's what a lot of those guys do.
yeah, he's still working on his craft. He's still staying in shape. He's gonna see a lot better, excuse me, a lot better competition in the XFL level than he's seen in Colorado. So yeah, I look at it as is they're prepping him. He just need a little bit more work, maybe, eh, uh, to cross over into the NFL.
Yeah, because when we were doing no Peter Investor, I know what fiction is, but I want to know what you were what were you reacting to when you said reality versus fiction? Black Bully or what? Okay, so we have to. I know we don't feel. I want to know how most people out there feel. Are we in the NFL now? Did we all go to the NFL? Is are the uh are the Colorado creators still creating Colorado content? Have y'all seen Colorado content?
I've seen some of it.
I've seen some.
So y'all like when y'all say y'all seen some, so y'all saying pretty much it's not as much.
It
It's
ain't
not
like it
high.
used
It's
to
not as
be.
yeah. It's not as
No.
high level as it was when, like you stated earlier, Harry, when Shedeur and Travis was there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the the media coverage of a whole new uh, team, for the exception of few that we've seen, like a Marion Miller, Draylon. Uh, Travis and Shador was the hot. They were the show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the stars are gone, and now we're left to cover the other guys that are coming up, and it's not going to garner as much attention as the when the stars were there.
I think it is.
You think it's going to garner? It seems.
Marion Miller, I'm looking for him to have a breakout season, Doc, because he didn't display what he's capable
Who's
of
check?
doing.
Tim,
Huh?
don't let me push back. Who's checking for Marion Miller?
I am.
Tim, you was just one person who ain't talking about that. Tim, I'm talking about attention, not like you're checking for.
Uh, Draylon Miller.
Driller.
I'm even though he still got another 2 or 3 years before he could, decide if he want to go to the NFL or not. Enter his name into that pool. But he got a chance to showcase as a freshman in front of 32 teams. You don't think people was keeping an eye out on him?
No, I mean, Colorado's not going to have the same amount of attention, but Colorado's not going to not have attention because Coach Prime is still there. First of all, this is the year that we get to see Coach Prime coach somebody else.
Let
right?
them be Georgia Tech then.
Yo, I don't even want to put the question out there. What kind of conversations are we having? Colorado beats Georgia Tech. Oh Lord, they're going to the Super Bowl. Yo, I know DC was going hiding like Homer Simpson.
Oh no, I come on, come
into the
on.
bushes.
I'd come right on now.
You would not come out.
Yes, I
You would
would.
not be able to handle the machete aunties. Come on now.
Hey, guess what? With that first game against TCU, folks was like, I see we coming now. It's like, just hold on 1 second. This is not me being hate. This is just me seeing enough football. That's how it goes. First games can look very good. You can see a lot of stuff. Think about this. Last year, Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois. Those games happen. Right now, on paper, Georgia Tech is the better team. But that doesn't say that Colorado has stuff from Prime or have them ready. The bottom line is, I'm sitting here saying that's not going to be an easy game. But then again, it could be like last year where a lot of teams we thought that were going to be good, like we thought Oklahoma State would be good. We thought UFC was going to be good, and they just crapped the bed. So that does happen too.
Hey
So
man,
I'm not.
you got some red meat in the chat. You want to? ICH said they are going to destroy, like the word destroy, Georgia Tech, and he said he's going to be at that game. You're both to be using destroy.
I'm hoping they win the game, but to make that bold statement,
Destroy?
that's like, I don't know
Okay.
what football you've been watching, bro.
Like for real, like which games did you watch last season, ICH? Which Georgia Tech games did you watch? I watched the Florida State game. I watched the entire Georgia versus Georgia Tech game. What else did I watch? I saw highlights of some other games, but I think I watched 2 full games. Boy, and I believe the Florida State game was like out of the country, right? It was like somewhere in like the Netherlands or something. They were doing like tap dancing. What's that country where they do like the river dance?
What with Ireland, I think it
Was it?
was.
Did they play in Ireland or something like that?
I think it was, but you got a game, I think this year in Ireland. Isn't it Kansas State and Ohio, Iowa State or something like that? But anyway, to kick everything off.
Hold
Uh
on. QB1. Come on, Shedeur. Did y'all watch Georgia Tech spring game? We ain't worried. No,
uh
don't do that. No. No.
did you watch CU spring game? Come on. Let's at least
No.
be balanced. I have no problem saying
No, no,
Colorado
no,
is good
no,
because
no.
Colorado.
DC, don't go in. It was Ireland. Thank you, Peter
I'm
Investor.
not I'm
No,
not
don't
going
go
in.
in. No, let's keep it on the surface. A
That's what I'm
lot of teams,
saying.
they were playing no poach ball. Okay? So a lot of teams did not show you anything this year because the thing that's going around is if you show too much, people come and get your players. So a lot of teams are playing no poach ball. Do not use the spring game under no circumstances. I'm warning you right now. Do not use the spring game. You know what, DC? Go for it.
All right, so here's the thing. Surfer Boy is saying it too. Said we tried to tell folks about NDSU. It's like, man, ain't no way, ain't no way. And then even Harry was like, that was that wasn't a that was a punch. That was a shootout. That wasn't no the NDSU didn't just roll over and say, well, it's Shedeur and Travis.
Yo.
And you gotta understand. Go ahead, Harry.
No. I'm saying I was just agreeing with you. I was just
Yeah,
punctuating it.
and I'm just sitting here telling you, I get it. I'm not saying that Colorado's not going to be good at all. I'm not saying that. What I am sitting here saying is, if what came back, what was there last year, comes back this year, this is going to be a very good game.
Yo, who
I,
is this QB1 Shedeur? You putting 500 on CU beating Georgia Tech? Sheesh. But look,
Hey, I will say this real quick, Harry, if you don't mind.
go ahead.
They're playing at CU, so that's a good thing. Um,
What's the odds on that game?
huh?
You're the betting information guy, DC.
Oh,
So
Let,
when you
let,
find
Kalen,
it, let me know. Go ahead,
Kalen,
Tim.
Kalen Salter. I think by him being such a dual threat, and we know what he's capable of doing with his legs and his arm. Uh, I feel like that's gonna allow a lot of guys to make plays, make big plays, which allow them, I feel like, to stay in the game a little bit. But if King come out
it's
and
three.
have his way in that first quarter, people gonna leave the stands by the time the third quarter come around.
The line is 3.5 in favor of Georgia Tech.
Can you
Mm,
explain what that 3.5 that number means?
They expect that put it like this. Understand betting lines are a little different than what they actually think the score is going to be. What they're saying is they believe that um they believe that Georgia Tech will win the game by at least 3 points. So in order
That's
for
it.
somebody to win, if you bet for Colorado, you would have to say, I'll take that bet. So for example, if Colorado wins, if Colorado loses by less than three, and I hope I'm saying it right because I've had a long day, or they actually
Yeah, me too.
beat Georgia Tech, then you win. So he's basically saying is I'm betting Colorado to at least win or cover.
Mm. So yeah, okay. So that's not a bad bet. But I thought it was going to be more than that. But you know what? Let me say this because what's the name? Who said something? What's the name? Well off media. Remember we were just talking about the attention going to the NFL now. And then I kept this quote up from Peter Investor because he said, "Well off media needs to do miniseries on his star players." I think I'm going to put that out there. I'm keeping this up because I'm thinking like, hey, to the Prime folks, to Prime and his team, and how you're covered this year. I know y'all put out feeders yesterday. I mean last year that y'all were looking for people to hire and stuff like that. This is a good idea right here. I think that the buzz is not the same because the Louis boys are now in the NFL. So a lot of people have gone to the NFL. So I think like Well-Off should like start, use that propaganda machine and really start doing these miniseries. Like do more interviews, life, the life, the day in the life of the players. Start creating characters. You feel me? Because you can have that same thing if y'all start doing that. If
I
y'all want to
think
get at me, we can work something out. But go ahead, DC.
I'm gonna tell you what I think they should be doing is sending some of the players to talk to people like you and a couple of other content creators that are out here just to have the conversation. What are you
I mean,
looking
they got their
for?
favorites. They do that already,
Right.
right?
I,
I haven't. I don't think I've reached out to anybody specifically to speak to anyone. I just remember now. I'm trying to stay neutral. I don't want to make friends, and I don't want to get into that camp. So people start like, "Oh, don't say certain things." I don't want to do that. But I would. It would be nice if y'all want to come here and we can still keep that distance. You feel me? Like I want to keep the distance, but it will be nice to like, hey, if y'all want to come on here, I'll keep it fair and y'all always know I'll keep it respectful. But no, but Well Off needs to start creating, that thing for these players. Because I don't think we have the same energy for them as we did the Louis boys. You feel me?
I like college football, so I'm gonna still always maintain my same energy.
But
But
keep in mind, the Colorado, the BWBs are a mixed fan base. The BWBs are full of college football purists like yourself, DC, Phil, and others, right? But also there came a lot of layman fans, right? People who didn't really care about the game, they cared about the athletes. They cared about the characters. So I think it's a great idea that Peter Investor says, start creating those characters, start creating those narratives for these players, do the interviews, the day in the life of, do more of those type of things. And people will, so people can, the Olympics does it very well. So they start telling you stories and they start giving you, their backstory, their mothers, their aunties, whoever's taking care of them. Their mom is no longer here. They're playing for their grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you start creating those, so you start creating those fans versus stands, that would bring some more layman people in. Like those type of videos will get a lot of views and people will start like learning more about these players. Because I don't feel like we have the same connection and we are as invested as we were.
Well,
I have to be, because I'm running a channel and I'm trying to gather information, but I think it'll help to keep the energy.
I
Well,
heard something. I don't know if it's true or false, but I think I read something where they was talking about the commissioner maybe open a slight door for well off in the NFL. So how would that? I wonder how that would really work. Because if they're giving him somewhat of a, uh, I don't know how much access he may have, but um,
I think maybe just covering his people.
I think he gets mini camp and he gets preseason of what I was listening to as
okay.
far as the Browns go. I don't think he can go, and I think they may let him do some stuff with Shiloh, but I hadn't heard that, so don't quote me.
Yeah, I don't think he can go in games because NFL has a whole film
Oh
crew.
no, they ain't finna play like just like you can see that here. The college as well as NFL. You put something up if you want to. But let me ask you this
So
though.
hold
I
on,
think
So QB1 says it already been approved for well-off media to NFL, Browns, Jaguars, and the Buccaneers.
But let me
Okay.
ask you, but I guess my thing is this. Okay. So if the goal, so because if you notice, like everybody came because of Prime, right?
Yeah.
Then they fell in love with Shedeur and Travis and of course Shiloh. And then now that that's branched out, so now we have this gap of we don't really know fully what's going on with CU. I know some people are able to spit out names and go, hey, this person and that person. But then when I'm sitting here looking at doing my research, I don't see what they're saying, like that this person is going to be this outstanding thing, but I don't see the team like it was last year in the first year. You know what I mean?
Hold on. What are you saying? I'm not following. What are you saying?
What I'm saying is, it does seem like the attention and the focus, like all the energy, got sucked into the NFL
Oh
with
yeah.
primarily Shador, then a little bit of Travis. I mean, I'm gonna call it out for what it is, folks. It is literally like 90% Shador, 5% Travis, and maybe 7% Travis and 3% Shiloh.
I
That's
can,
what seems like where everything
bruh,
happened.
I got the numbers. I can tell you. When I can tell you little like what happens. When I post a Shador clip, that thing, okay, let's just say within the first couple of minutes, it goes 300. Within let's say 10 minutes, it goes to 1,000 views for Shedeur, right? And then after that, it'll probably go to like, I've gotten like 90,000 views and whatever. But when I post Travis or anybody else, okay, so Jimmy Horn got like maybe 80 some thousand on some of his stuff. When I post Travis or anybody else, it's like, bruh, it struggles to even get clicks. So yeah, um, it's there's a vast difference between the numbers. I don't know if it's the thumb. I mean, shorts don't really have thumbnails, but I don't know if it's the title or what it is. Even when I type in Travis's name, YouTube doesn't even recognize Travis. They say Travis Scott, Travis. There's like 5 different other names with Travis. Travis Hunter doesn't come up. So yeah, the energy has been sucked out of the room. So for Colorado to keep that momentum and that energy alive, I think Well-Off can really help. But they're gonna have to maybe they're gonna have to bring in some new energy. I don't know how that's gonna work for them because
Right, because
you can't follow the NFL and follow college at the same time.
Right, because then you wind up having that thing where now all that money that was, this is probably another discussion for, for another show.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now you start getting to a point where you don't want those. Put it like this: you want to win and the views be up. You do not want the views to go down, and you certainly don't want views to go down when you're at 6 or 7 wins. I promise you, you don't want that. I'm just here to tell you,
Well,
you
I
do
mean,
not want
the
that.
views, as far as the dictation of the views, that we don't have to worry about. I don't think you want to start. You don't. What you don't want to do is start views watching. That's the wrong way to handle that. Handle the media. You don't views watch. You focus on providing a quality product.
No,
That's
I'm
it.
talking about like the college and the games, like in the fall. You
Well,
don't
that's what
want to
I mean.
have it
That's
where
what I'm
they
talking
lose that
about. You
buzz.
can't.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, you cannot focus on views. What you focus on is the product. The product, because if you think about Well Love has a really great product, college product already, right? So you now need to evolve the product. You got to start thinking like watch some of the NFL films, their documentary series and stuff like that. Start watching that because what you were giving us was like just the practice and stuff like that. But now start watching more NFL stuff and start making it more cinematic and providing us just evolve the product just a little bit. And you're gonna migrate some of those people that have now learned the college football and are not just here for the characters. You're gonna migrate a lot of them if you evolve the product must evolve.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
Tim, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How many players are you following from LSU that was on LSU last year that played this or in the NFL this year?
Uh,
Bro, hold up. How you gonna mention all of these and you gonna leave out TLP where you put in the comments? DMVR, Buff, Well Off, Reach the People, Buff News Weekly, B Watts, and no TLP in there, and you're here at TLP. Dang, man, where's the respect? Anyway, I'm just joking, but go ahead. And TLP and TLP too. Lord have mercy. I just had to put that in there. Go ahead.
but no, I'm not following nobody. I'm looking at what's they didn't made it, so I'm looking at what's coming up the lines for this season.
Right. Well, the reason why I'm saying that is because normally that's not how a lot of us legacy folks do it. Like once you move on, and we'll watch you, But at the end of the day, it's not like, oh, like for example, I have not watched one moment of. I've seen clips come across, but I'm not watching Milrow. And I'm not really watching any of the other Bama players, so it's a different phenomenon, which I think is fascinating for me. Where the Colorado fan base immediately went straight up and followed Shedeur, and I understand what all the stuff, the controversy that went in, but it's just interesting to see that. So I am interested to see how the buzz builds up, especially since now you don't have big spring games like we used to that kind of sucks the in. You know, that's a good point too. By the lack of huge big spring games, that has sucked the energy out of college football.
Also, keep in mind, Colorado did not break the top 10 in viewership in 2024. So now that you got the stars are gone and no more drama, that number that's going to change even that's going to get even worse. So if you want to keep, that thing that Colorado had around it and selling out tickets and stuff like that, you're going to have to now create products. You're going to have to the product has to evolve. If you don't evolve the product, then those numbers are going to get worse because keep in mind, television, like for all of those games to be televised, there was energy on Colorado. So one or two things have to happen. Either Colorado has to win some really big games, or it's going to have to create some type of drama because that's what people are coming for, the drama. So,
Colorado just have to win
right, you beat
because
Georgia Tech, and people are
man,
going to come back and start looking at you.
yeah, because to be honest, people were there to see Shedeur and Travis, mainly Travis at Colorado, because people had been following him his whole entire journey
Right.
So, he was the talk of college football. Even when he went in, when he decided to go to Jackson State, all eyes was on Travis. Let me see what Travis gonna do. Let me see how he's gonna pan out in the Power Five.
Exactly.
So like I say, they were the show, and now that they're gone,
Yeah, the show's gone.
the show is gone. So now you can have well off and Bucky and them follow the players around like they did Shedeur and Travis, who was accustomed to that lifestyle, and try to reiterate that. But it's gonna take winning. I think winning is the only
Yeah.
factor for them to generate that same type of buzz that they had when his son and Travis were there.
But not just Tim, not just winning, but style points. Like
Facts.
winning in a dominant fashion. Like people have to come back and be like, you know how like okay, the show's over and everybody turn around and they're about to leave, and then something happens and it's like then it turn back around. To turn people back around, Colorado's gonna have to start dominating in the Big 12. Do they have the team to dominate in the Big 12? Maybe that'll come in subsequent shows. But I think Coach Prime being there, you still got a little bit of drama. So we're gonna get something. We're gonna get people looking. But the indicator that those numbers started to drop, even when the Louis boys were still there, and now that they're now there, no more drama, no more Pat Narduzzi coming saying crazy stuff. All of that drama is gone now. We're gonna have to now create a football product. So that football product has to come with a lot of W's. Or if you don't have a lot of W's, style points on losing, like beating teams up. That factors into it as well. If you are let's say, you create like some type of Hoosiers type of thing where you're beating like significant teams, like ranked teams, or you're taking them to task, people will start looking at you again and start respecting that football.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing's got to happen, and I'm sure all of y'all agree with this. The last game that we saw them play left a bad taste in folks' mouth because you literally just got pushed around almost worse than the Nebraska game. If you come out and just absolutely just push Georgia Tech all over the field, because Colorado was it was first a finesse team where they could win some games, even though they were 4-8. The set last year they were able to do, that Travis and Jimmy Horn and Autumn and Shedeur, they could pull a rabbit out the hat. Now you have to a point where you don't know what to expect. So if they come out there and they're physical, and you see where like Caden Salter is like the reincarnation, which I don't believe in that, but I'm just saying for understand of Slash. When Cordell Stewart played for Colorado, and you
Yeah.
start saying all those things, and they running the ball and they're killing it, then that's going to leave a huge impact on what people, because they're going to be looking at the game, because you don't bring Marshall Faulk in and not run. You can't do that. You
Yeah.
got to be able to just hand that thing off, some good RPOs, and we just need to see some great football. But it needs to be some good physical football where you're pushing people all over the field.
Yeah, I think these boys are going to create their own narrative and something to watch for. They got to do that. Somebody's gonna have to step up and take the mantle of, hey, look at us. You should watch us too. I don't know who it's gonna be. All right. I know Jordan Seaton is a star lineman, but linemen are not that exciting. So is it going to be the wide receivers? Is it going to be Caden Salter? Is it going to be Juju if he gets in the game? Somebody's going to have to create some type of lightning in the bottle to create new energy for Colorado. And I look forward to seeing whatever that thing is going to be. This whole Shedeur being dragged, the drive slide dance sucked a lot of people attention to the NFL. Colorado's team this year is going to have to create something to get people watching. So it's going to have to be like hard-nosed football or finesse football, dominating teams and then people are going to be like, is this Colorado? It's something, one of those things, something's going to happen. I don't know what yet, but I got to get up out of here. It's 2.5 hours. Let's get final thoughts. We'll create some other shows to talk more about that. Final thoughts, Tim. You go first, please.
Hey, great show. Thank you for having me on, as always, Harry. Hey, good talking with you, DC. And I think Kalen Salter is gonna be that hidden gem. So I'm looking for him to be very vocal. I know I know that he's a winner, and I know the type of program that he came from in high school where they won, and I think that's going to carry over from Liberty to Colorado.
All right. DC.
I'm looking forward to seeing the killing the narrative. Will Coach Prime be able to coach without his sons? I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be good. I think Colorado needs to maintain that thing of us against the world. I think that works. That's great marketing. And I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to and I'm looking forward to seeing how does Colorado pull some of that energy that went to the NFL back. Great show, Harry.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what they do. Yeah. Again, I think the one point that I want to make is that they're going to have to create product. They're going to have to redefine the product, because the product. I don't know if a lot of people think about this. The fact that the energy was coming from Shedeur and the Louis boys. That energy was a natural energy that created itself. So you can't really that's an organic energy. You can't recreate that energy. So something's gonna have to happen, and they're gonna have to redefine the product. Whatever that looks like for Colorado and whatever Prime is trying to do, it ain't gonna be the same. The views are gonna obviously go down, but if they can figure out how to bring in, if they start winning again, like Tim said, if they start winning again, I think people will start watching again for a new reason. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a great evening. Tim, thank you for coming on to the show. DC, thank you for coming on, guys. Have a great evening. I'll see you on the next show.
Yeah, have a blessing, man.
All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Peace.